equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. That's GoForsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Tonight will be cloudy, dry, but very cold. An overnight low 0 to 7 above, with wind chill readings down to near 10 to 15 below. Sunny, remaining cold on Tuesday, our high low to mid-20s, and will be closer to the 40-degree mark Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forsgren Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
Details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
2 seconds, 1 second, he lets fly with a shot.
From the Busch Light Studios, this is ESPN 95.3.
I like one good snow, which we have had. And now I'm ready for spring.
Bypass it straight to spring.
Let's just move straight on to an early spring. We've got a nice snow. It's been great. Let's get it melted. Let's turn the page.
I don't really require all 4 seasons. I could live without winter.
You can live without winter.
I don't really require all 4.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McClarty Daniel hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how many of you are on the bandwagon of winter, as it is a bandwagon Tuesday. A lot of you have been complaining and frustrated with the weather the last few days here across Arkansas. Some of you love the snow. Some of you are irritated by the snow. Some of you have lost power. Some of you have had to deal with pipes bursting. Sometimes it can be great. Other times it can be hazardous. Maybe you have a season rankings that you put fall up top, or spring's your favorite, summer's your favorite. For some of you, maybe winter is the number one. I know for one, I'm not on the bandwagon winter. It is 4th in the pecking order when it comes to our season rankings as we get going here on a bandwagon Tuesday.
Why don't you just ask the question after a 3-game losing streak? I mean, you might as well, hey, do you want to fire the coach after they've lost 3 in a row? You got snow on the ground and you're going to ask if people love winter? You're not going to get the – I think you're spiking the punch here a little bit. I think everybody knows kind of what answer you're going to get. Nobody's in love with winter at the moment. Or very few, we should say. Nobody's a big word. All right, that's where we begin here on a bandwagon Tuesday. I'm on the bandwagon for spring and fall. I could do without the extremes we've seen to get, and particularly the colder extreme this time of the year. Hey, we're brought to you by our friends at the Inn at the Mill. If you're looking for a place to stay, maybe you're coming up for the game tonight. 8 o'clock start. Want to lay your head on the pillow in Northwest Arkansas when it's all said and done. Particularly, maybe you're a little worried about the roads, getting back and forth. The Inn at the Mill's got a great room for you. Oversized, comfortable rooms. Big suites with high-speed internet that's fabulous. Great breakfast to start the day. And conveniently located near campus. Conveniently located near the AMP, Crystal Bridges, all of those things at the Johnson exit 69. So, coming over tonight for the basketball game, or you really want to, but you need a place to stay, find a wonderful, affordable room at the Inn at the Mill. 479-443-1800, 443-1800, or online at innatthemill.com.
So I think fall is the number 1 seed for the majority of our audience, but I think the 2nd and 3rd seed is more up in the air between spring and summer. I had summer at 2. Do you have summer at 2 or 3?
You've put more thought into this. Fall, then spring, then summer, then winter would be my choice.
Okay. Why do you have spring above summer?
Better golf weather. Better fishing weather. I mean, you get to middle of July and it's 110 degrees. It's like now you can't go out and do much of anything for very long.
See, that doesn't affect me like it does you. It doesn't.
It affects everybody. You can't stay out in 110 degree heat very long.
It doesn't have as an effect on me as it does.
Well, we're not all Superman like you.
No, I'm just being
if
honest.
given the choice of 80 degrees or 110. I don't know. I'll think about it, but I believe I'll lean towards 80.
I like summer because you have more flexibility and free time. There's not any sports going on. That's why I have it above 2. I get the weather aspect. And
see, me and Big C like sports. So
I don't think there's anyone here listening that don't think I like sports.
Well, clearly you'd rather not have sports. That's what I heard, Big C. I'd rather not have sports. Get in my way of all the other things, all my weddings and things I want to do.
Flexibility aspect that I think
does
a lot
like
of
weddings,
people enjoy.
Yeah, he likes weddings more than sports. That's what I hear here. Is that what you're hearing, Big C?
Yes.
All right.
As fun as weddings can be, and as many as I get invited to, I'd much rather be at a college football venue on a Saturday than a wedding. And because, again, college football college football is one of the best sports, if not the best sports out there, and it's hard to beat. I've said,
and that's why I have fall number 1.
Yeah, I had fall number 1, but I did, again, because of the flexibility, the travel ability, I had summer at 2, spring at 3, and then winter at 4 at this point. But I've talked to some people this week that this is their favorite time of year, and I'm still trying to figure out why, and they say bonfires, snow, and other things, but when I wake up outside and it's
who's sitting
8
at a
degree,
bonfire this week? Nobody, right? Who would build a bonfire right now?
To be outside?
And when it's 7 degrees?
It's the colder the better on bonfires. That's the whole point. You don't want a bonfire when it's like 50.
Okay. I'm not sitting outside in 7-degree weather, dude, for a fire.
You're just not as temperate. When it's too hot, you stay inside. When it's too cold, you stay inside. That's
why God gave us heat and air, And hopefully we can get the heat and air going for Zach today. He blew a fuse or something.
Yeah,
yesterday.
So what happened up there?
I don't know. And I couldn't drive up there to fix it.
You didn't want to help him out?
Well, I'll tell you what. You drive me up there, and we'll go look at it.
Does your car not work?
Do you want to drive 49?
Is it bad?
Did you sleep outside last night? I think your brain's on a little bit of a slow start this morning.
Is it still pretty bad, the roadways?
Well, why don't you drive up there and fix it?
No, I think Zach can handle it at this point. So Zach apparently, again, blew up the studios in Northwest Arkansas because what? Did pipes break again?
No pipes broke.
Okay.
We had that handled. Something, I don't know if a breaker's hit or something with the heating system. So anyway, I don't know. It's kind of intermittent. I don't know what's going on. I just know it's not properly functioning.
And Derek didn't come in studio. He just stayed at home.
He's soft,
Did DQ show up yesterday?
I
didn't hear her yesterday, so
I turned it on. I heard some complaining. I turned it off.
Okay, I didn't hear DQ yesterday. At this point, I just know if somehow in these studios, if our stuff went out, I would be here. I can't speak for Derek and DQ, but I just know if something went out in our studio,
you're so rugged and
I
tough.
would be here
working, sitting by them bonfires when it's 7 degrees,
throwing an extra layer on, just doing what I had to do. I can't speak for again.
Big C, you're a country boy. You know anybody having a bonfire when it's 0?
I wouldn't.
I
don't personally know anybody, but I'm sure. I mean, they do produce a lot of heat.
They do produce heat.
That's the whole point. It's like you don't want to be in a bonfire when it's 40 or 50. You want to do it when it's freezing outside, so you can.
Well, there's a difference in freezing at 32 and
I think it's
sub-zero.
People just really want to hang out very badly, and they just say, "All right, we'll have
bonfires aren't about the heat, man. Yeah, they're about the fellowship and
the camaraderie is important. But again, given the choice of 10 or 20 degrees or 40 or 50, I'm probably taking the 10 or 20 degrees with the bonfire.
Go ahead.
It's different on that.
You said people lost power. You know someone that lost power?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, Northwest Arkansas, a couple of people. Do you not have any friends that lost power?
No, I mean, as dry as the snow was, there wasn't really any ice. So I don't know.
Unless they lied. I'd text, I lost power. So I don't think they'd
Can't buy you lunch today, lost power.
Yeah. I don't think they'd lie about something like that. So that was, I got friends that live all over the state, and it was really Northwest Arkansas. I don't have a ton of friends that live, outside, but that's, I would say, what was it, two? Yeah, two of them lost power in different pockets. So I don't think it's, again, there's a lot of them at this point, but I guess we can give you some weather updates throughout the morning. I guess it's pretty much, it's going to melt.
It's just going to be warmer today.
Yeah, but it's not.
I mean, warmer's a relative term, but relative to what it's been, it's going to be warmer.
Fayetteville's supposed to get up to 19. It's sunny, Tommy, but 19 degrees in sun, that's not going to melt much, is it?
Depending on where, but they've gotten a lot of the roadways scraped and treated. And, drive in this morning, you could see the stripes and the lines on the road. So, it's very passable. People are going to go back to work today. kids aren't going to go to school, but people are going to go to work.
I didn't have I have friends in the bank and the ones that get those federal holidays off because of obviously Martin Luther King Day and what we were celebrating in that. But the ones that did not have the holiday off, they all went to work. I didn't have anyone that skipped.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you'll see everybody get back to it other than the schools that pretty well called it off for today. All right, that's where we begin. Hopefully you have power and a bonfire going this morning where you're at. We're brought to you by APAC Arcola. Hey, if you're tired of that job you've been doing for a while, or maybe you want a different scene or a different place to call your work home, APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group, they're hiring right now, looking for CDL licensed drivers, heavy equipment operators, concrete finishers, and a lot more. Top pay, great benefits, sign-on bonus, profit sharing, retirement, insurance, you name it. Go to jobs.crh.com. That's jobs.crh.com.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Razorback and Super Bowl champion Brett Good, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call cleans it all.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come get you some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all. They do it from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Are you looking for a change of scenery? Lavorne Lumber is looking to hire a Class A CDL flatbed driver for a regional position. Lavorne Lumber is highly competitive in pay. Lavorne Lumber is a family-owned lumber and trucking company. Home most nights and every single weekend. Guaranteed. Lavorne Lumber has top-of-the-line equipment. If you're interested in the job, stop by Lavorne Lumber at 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith Monday through Friday from 9 to 4.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news for the new year. Introducing Road Ready Certified used cars, inspected and certified with a comprehensive warranty. You simply can't buy a better used car. Road Ready Certified, only available at Rath Auto Resources. Another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith, or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
It's time to vote for your favorite high school player of the week. ESPN Arkansas and Shamrock Roofing and Construction are recognizing the most outstanding high school student athletes. Visit hitthatline.com each week to vote for your favorite athlete of the week. The high school player of the week is brought to you by Shamrock Roofing and Construction. No one can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock. Visit them at shamrockroofer.com. Visit the nominees each week at hitthatline.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I think I side with Ty as much as anybody. I've listened to this program for years. First time I've called in.
Shot clock's down to 5. Tremont elevates, jump shot, no good. Brazil with a follow. They didn't put a body on Trevin, a two-hand follow.
Please rate and review the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Give us 5 stars to help us get our content out to the rest of the Razorback family. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
I don't know about you, but I feel like Eric Musselman has had to repeat himself several times the last couple of weeks when it concerns this basketball team. It's the same repetitiveness over and over again, talking about rebounding, talking about lack of defense, and talking about this group. We'll share what he had to say coming up following the loss against Florida, and also what he had to say about the Aggies throughout the show this morning.
Brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Great brands like Grand Design, Forest River, and Brinkley. In fact, Wheels is growing and expanding. They'll be bringing the Brinkley model to Fort Smith, and their second location coming up later this year. We'll be giving you details on that. And Wheels will always provide you a lifetime warranty with every new RV they sell. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. And coming soon to Fort Smith, seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
So here's what he said in regards to this group that he has right now.
Well, this group does not have the characteristics of our past 4 years. I mean, you can see that. We have a lot of holes in a lot of different areas. So our job as a staff will be continue to do what we can, try to provide teaching points, to try to continue to give scouting reports that are effective. That's what we're supposed to do, is continue to try to get guys better and get the collective whole better.
So I just double-checked on this. Musk said after the game that A&M was even better than Florida at rebounding. Sometimes coaches say that, and it's not entirely accurate. Well, it is. A&M is the number 1 offensive rebounding team in the country. Florida was top 5. A&M is number 1. You got beat on the glass by 17 to a very strong front line for the Gators. That give credit to Todd Golden because he really addressed that in the offseason. Chuck brought up yesterday that Jalen Graham scored, I think, 26 points on them last year, and this year he didn't have much of a post presence or an in-the-paint presence because Florida did a good job defending you. A&M, again, maybe not the same size. They still have some size, but again, they crash it and they crash it hard. So even on misses, Arkansas's got to clean up the rebounds. Otherwise, it's going to be a long night like it was on Saturday.
I mean, it's basic. You got to limit their possessions, and you got to find a way to get out. Now, the one issue Arkansas does have on coming off rebound is transition defense. They can't seem to get back and get in front of people quickly enough. So that's one thing that, Chuck's brought this up. We've talked about it. They seem to be chasing guys to the side or behind and not back quick enough in transition to stop them in the half court so they can't just get right to the hole. That happens, I don't know, half a dozen times a game. Maybe, I don't know, maybe more. I don't chart it, but we if you watch the games, you see it. So that's the other thing off the rebounding. When you don't have guys in position, then they fall behind in transition, and then it's an easy 2.
Yeah, and also on the zone transition, Matt brought this up. Sometimes you run to a spot rather than a man, and that causes some driving lanes and areas where the offense could take advantage, which they did even on makes this past Saturday. Now, one of the things talking about this group, Devontae Davis has been a part of the last 3 NCAA tournament teams. He's been a part of the successful groups under Eric Musselman. He had 0 points in the game against Florida. He's got to be more of a scorer. I thought defensively that he had his best game of the season against Georgia. Offensively, again, just did not show up at all against the Gators and didn't play a good chunk to this point. You know what he did in SEC play last year when he was one of the best three-point shooters in the conference. I don't know if we're going to get back to that hot streak, but he can't walk away with box scores where he doesn't score a point, much less really provide much else, because otherwise he's just not valuable out there.
So how many guys play tonight?
I mean, I've advocated that they should just roll out 8 and stick through the thick and thin. I mean, you're at a point now where you keep
what if it
rotating
gets bad,
guys.
though, like it's done twice?
I think you stay with the guys,
Leave
and I think
there.
you just roll it and roll with the punches, which it could. I mean, it evidence showed the last 3 games that it could get back. Heck, at home, you lost your biggest deficit ever against Auburn, so there's no.
I mean, you've had a couple. You had 22 and a 32-point loss in 2 of your last 3.
I just think when you, and I think for those that have played a sport, when there is a heavy bench, whether it's football, basketball, most of the time it's basketball, you realize you kind of tense up when you know that the coach will yank you out at any moment. Not that you're not giving 100% maximum effort, but mistakes happen on the court. Backdoor cuts, turnovers. I mean, things just happen. And I feel like this basketball team is so worried about, so tense about making that one mistake.
Yeah.
When they screw up, they get yanked, and sometimes they don't get put back in the game. And that kind of messes up the psyche of a player. And I think it's had an effect on this basketball team where the depth, to a certain degree, has actually hurt them by, and I say depth, it's kind of hard to say depth when you're 0-3 in conference play and you're getting swatted around at points on the court.
No, I buy into some of that, and but I think you've got a coach right now trying to push any button, find any lever to make something work, and he's just looking for effort.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep coming back to that. And yet, you're walking a fine line on what you're saying about a team when you're talking about lack of effort. I mean, there's nothing positive that you can twist out of that. But that. When you just listen to what Muss says in his press conference, listen to what he says before and after games, that's what he's after, some guys to play hard.
And it's like the catch-22 where if you don't feel like the guys are playing hard, then you need to pull them out. But if you feel like they're just messing up, then that he's talked about effort at points this season. He feels like it's there. They're just not responding in the way they need to at points. And then other times there's just not the effort. They quit on him against Auburn. They quit. I mean, it's 32 points, got just annihilated in that game. And there were points they quit against the Florida game. They weren't getting back in transition. They weren't doing the things that it takes to win in this conference. And Jimmy Dykes talks about this. If it's an 8 or 9 bid league, then you think about that, that's probably most of the conference that you're going to play. There's no night off. Like, you don't have that luxury of having that said night off. And Arkansas had a backloaded schedule. When I quote unquote say the easier teams were up first, you went, with the exception of Auburn, that you had at home. You went 0-2 on the road. You didn't split either of them this past week. Now you've got 2 at home. I mean, at the very least, you've got to split this week, and that still puts you at 1-4 in this league. You love to snag 2 of them, even though South Carolina's playing better than I think a lot of people expected at this point.
Well, and you look at the records, and you got, I need to count this back up, I think it's 7 or 8 teams that have 3 losses or less and double-digit wins. I mean, those are the kind of records at this point that's certainly got an inside lane compared to where you're at on getting one of those tournament bids. Arkansas is what now, 9-7. So, just from a pure record win and loss perspective, you're falling behind in a hole that is going to be hard to catch up and be even the 9th. If it is indeed a 9-bid league or an 8-bid league, just start looking at records, and I guess at some point we'll pay more attention to net rankings, but you're falling behind the conversation just in the standings from just compare records. Records don't necessarily always tell the story, but they do tell the story.
Yeah. Musselman has never had less than 20 wins as a college basketball coach, and he is dangerously approaching that area where he's going to end up less than 20 wins.
Hey, we're proud to be a part of the 2024 Miracles and Magic Radiothon that is coming on February the 2nd. The Morning Rush at ESPN Arkansas. Glad to support Arkansas Children's Northwest. We're going to be doing this all month long, raising money to help Arkansas Children's here in Northwest Arkansas fulfill the promise of making children better today and healthier tomorrow. There's a lot of ways that you can give and give today, by texting ACNW to 51555. You can call 479-455-KIDS or go to hitthatline.com and click on the Morning Rush link. We'd appreciate you supporting Arkansas Children's Northwest there, and you can do that. It's all brought to you by Honda of Fayetteville. Buy or lease your dream vehicle today. View inventory online at hondaoffayetteville.com or stop by the showroom inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Hey, guys, enjoy your show out of all the sports programs in the state. I really enjoy y'all's love.
Video is powered by the pros at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, Sakale, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
If you hope heaven has a bar, it's guaranteed that you'll be bounced and barred. Heaven is reserved for those who have put their hope in God's Word. Jesus said you must be born again by trusting in Him, or you won't see the kingdom of heaven. God set the bar so high, that's why Jesus had to die. If you refuse God's last call, the Holy Spirit will serve you a fireball. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, one call, cleans it all.
On asking about this A&M matchup tonight. If it's true the Aggies have only beaten Arkansas one time in Fayetteville since 1986. I know, Rusty, according to the game notes, they've only won in Bud Walton once since joining the Southeastern Conference. As far as since 1986, don't know 100% about that. You're 61-15 all-time in Fayetteville. Tom, I didn't realize that this was your most common opponent. You're 61, you played them in your first season, over 100 games. This is the basketball team that you played the most ever in your basketball history.
Yeah, you got all those Southwest Conference games, obviously twice a year, plus probably some tournament games, I'm certain, along the way. And then, obviously, you've had a decade of playing them once and sometimes twice a year in the SEC. Mm-hmm. So, that does make sense with all the history and, going back. I don't know how far that series goes back. I'd have to look at that. So
whenever Arkansas basketball's first season was, whichever that is, because they played them in the first season.
Yeah,
so.
Okay. So that does make sense. But that's all history. That's not prophecy. And let's just be honest. A&M's a much better basketball team to this point in the season coming into tonight. But that doesn't guarantee or make certainty of victory for the Aggies this evening. Hey, real quick, the Fenceman's looking to add to their team. Now, they're going to be closed again today because of the inclement weather and the cold conditions, but they've got plenty of work to do, plenty coming up, and now this weather's going to put them even further behind, and they need to add a couple of crews. So if you've got fence building experience, you've got welding or carpentry skills, and you want to work for the absolute best, the Fenceman's the place. Great pay, great benefits, a great work environment, great tools and everything you need to really do a great job when it comes to building great fence. And you'll work on a lot of great projects because they get a lot of great work because they're known for the quality of the work that they give and have a great reputation in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Northwest Arkansas, all over the Morning Rush listening area. 782-3936 is their number, 782-3936, or apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith.
All right, so Pete Carroll is no longer the Seattle head coach. There are now 7 head coaching jobs, by my count, open in the National Football League. You got the Falcons, the Panthers, the Raiders, the Chargers, the Seahawks, the Titans, and Commanders. We'll see if the Dallas Cowboy job comes open, and we'll see if the Philadelphia Eagles job comes open after Nick Sirianni and company lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night. So it could be 9 or so. We'll have to wait and see how these other jobs play out to this point. Some notable names that are, again, potentially going to land: Bill Belichick, Jim Harbaugh, and whatnot. There's only 3 college football coaches that have won Super Bowls as well. Can you name those 3?
Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer, Pete Carroll.
Yep, those are the 3. Jim Harbaugh is trying to potentially to get into that mold. And with NIL, with the transfer portal, with the schedule, the recruiting calendar, and everything that's involved, is the NFL, has it become even more attractive, or do NFL coaches now look at college as is that same mold? Like, how do you think that has shifted when coaches' vantage points on this side of things?
You'd have to ask probably a coach that's out of the game right now, because I think a sitting coach, at least a sitting college coach, it'd be hard to get probably a real answer out of. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, but and really know what a coach is thinking. I'm sure each coach might be viewing it a little bit different. But yeah, where would you rather be? The money, maybe better in college, depending on the outpost and the spot you're at. I mean, but
Jim Harbaugh reportedly offered a 10-year, $125 million contract. That's $12.5 million a year.
But there's talks of some NFL teams offering him $20 million a year. Now that's media talk. I haven't seen we haven't seen pen meet paper on anything like that. But that's where we're headed. There's eventually going to be a coach that's going to someone that's got more money than sense is going to pay him upwards of $20 million.
Yeah, I think reportedly he interviewed with the Chargers yesterday. But I think the example I would bring up is Kirby Smart. You asked Tom about this last week. Let's say Kirby Smart was actually interviewed by Arthur Blank, the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, who apparently has a $180 million yacht that reportedly, I don't know how true this is, that Bill Belichick was seen walking onto.
What a place for a job interview, by the way.
If Blank was like, all right, Kirby's I think making $10 or $11 million, I'll give you $15 million per year to coach the Atlanta Falcons. He moves 45 minutes away. It's not like he's moving time zones. He's not even moving states. He's moving 45 minutes from Athens, Georgia to Atlanta and transitioning to be an NFL coach where many of his players are in the National Football League. Is that even something that he would entertain? Some guys are just molded to be college football coaches. Others can do it both ways, like the three we mentioned: Barry Switzer, Jimmy Johnson, Pete Carroll. Jim Harbaugh is another example. He got to a Super Bowl, didn't win it. But I wonder if that's something that if presented, and we don't know everything behind the scenes, if Smart would actually entertain that idea based on the way the trajectory where college football is headed is even as good as he has it in Athens with Nick Saban now leaving Tuscaloosa.
You worked so hard to build what you have at Georgia, and they are the king of the mountain. I know they didn't win the college football playoff championship this year, but how many years moving forward is Georgia going to be left completely out of the playoff like they were this year? How many times in the next 5 years is Georgia not going to be amongst the 12 teams?
I wouldn't even say once.
Exactly. So why would you leave there? I mean, we talk about what Nick Saban's done, never being matched again. That it may or may not be true. If there's a coach out there right now that can give it a run, it's Kirby Smart. He's got 2 titles. I don't believe he's even 50 yet. Nick Saban had his...
Yeah, he's like your age. He's 47 or 48.
Yeah, he's like 48 years old. Nick Saban had his first title at Bama, I guess, when he was 56 or so, because he took that job at, I believe, 55 years old. If you just do the math, 17 seasons minus... He's 72 now. It'd have been 55. So, I mean, I'm just thinking from a timeline perspective, you could help rewrite history again, I guess, so to speak. Plus, you're the king. Man, you get into the pros, and this is true, I think, in the NBA, and I think it's true in the NFL. The head coach is a component and has a lot of say, but there's the GM, or there's an owner, there's a GM, there's player personnel people. You don't have complete and total say. What you say as a college football coach, particularly with the place you've earned as Kirby Smart at Georgia, your word is law. You are God. And, that's something that's a factor. Not from an ego standpoint, but you don't have the obstacles and the roadblocks to stand in your way if you're at Georgia like you may have in the NFL.
And I do wonder how much of that has shifted with, again, NIL and transfer portal. There is still the old school approach that works with Jim Harbaugh. I think that's why Michigan fans flock to him so much. Not only is he an alum, but he has that same approach that they have loved for all their years of supporting football, but it's seldom seen. We know Eric Musselman coaches in a certain style way. This team, to this point, has not adapted to his coaching style or any of his philosophies, I think. I think most of us would agree on that. Will they, at this point, like his past 3 teams have, We'll have to wait and see. I hope so, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's 100% going to happen. It is more difficult to take that old school approach nowadays with basically unlimited transfers and people making money and stuff. It's not. Changed, and I just wonder again with that, because I don't think that you still have that foremost authority like you. You still are the number one guy, but I think you have to change it up just a little bit. Like I don't think Kirby Smart coaches the same way in 2024 as he did as the defensive coordinator for Alabama 10 years ago. I think there's a difference on how he communicates and how he goes about things. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not there, but that's how that's at least the same. It might just be lessened a little bit, maybe not a ton, but I don't think they had the same.
Oh, maybe not what it was 5 years ago, but trust me, no one's challenging what Kirby Smart has to say about the way things are going to happen. I'm not talking about fan talk. I'm talking about internal as far as resources, money, how things are allocated, who's in charge of the program, who's in charge of the way things are. There's no challenge to what Kirby Smart has to say, much like it was with Nick Saban at Alabama for 15 years or more.
Do you think the Dallas Cowboy job comes open and the Philadelphia Eagles job comes open? I think the Eagles lost 6 of 7, including really getting blown out down the stretch against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night. Do either or both those jobs or not at all come open?
What do you think?
I think that I think both of them come open.
I think
Jerry's going to succumb to the pressure. I think that the fact that even though that you mentioned this, 3 straight years of 12 wins, but 1 playoff win, 1-3. It's either 1-3 or 1-4 now for Mike McCarthy, and I think it's 1-3 in playoff games. So that is a terrible record. It's all about postseason, baby. They haven't been back to the NFC Championship since '95. He's gone through coaching. Maybe that's not the right way of looking at it, but again, if Jim Harbaugh is available, and I said this yesterday, I think you take a swing. He is a quarterback guy. He's had success at both levels, got the Niners to an NFC Championship and a Super Bowl. I think he would be able to get Dallas to the highest ceiling on this roster. Is that a Super Bowl chance? Is that a win? I'm not going to sit here and say that, but I think you take a swing if Jim Harbaugh would take that job. Now, if he doesn't, I don't know if I would 100% stick with Mike McCarthy. I know Bill Belichick's name has been mentioned. I don't know if he's got anything left to get them over the hump, get them over the top. But, again, 7 jobs open right now in the National Football League. Maybe we'll see the Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys jobs come open as well.
Well, maybe. Here's one thing about – let me talk out both sides of my mouth here for a minute. One thing about Jerry Jones, you say succumb to the pressure. That's not his M.O. The last thing Jerry generally does is bend and his will and what he wants to do to outside pressure. The fact the more pressure there is, the more he seems to dig in his heels. I mean – look at the way he handled coaches for years in that regard with a lot of pressure. But on the other hand, Jerry is 80 years old now, and he knows time is running out for Jerry to see him and his family secure another Super Bowl trophy. And this year's down the toilet. So it's somewhere in the middle of those two. But as far as outside pressure influencing Jerry Jones, I don't think so.
We're going on nearly 30 years of their last Super Bowl appearance. I mean, at a certain point, do you think he realizes that it's not working with him as the
Nope.
We're talking about
Nope.
the leadership aspect of college football coaches. I think most would agree that Dallas would be in a better situation if Jerry handed the keys either to Steven or hired a GM or hired a president or someone else. But
who wants that job? Would you want to be Jerry Jones' general manager?
I've been surprised.
Do you think you would have any luck at all having control over that job?
I think I've been surprised at some of the coaches that they've managed to convince to take that role, and yet they have. I mean, Jerry is a salesman at some points. I would agree that it would be again butting heads, and there would be consistent arguing and stuff. But he is a salesman at heart, and he's been able to convince Bill Parcells, Mike McCarthy, and others to coach his football team. Again, the management aspect might be different, and I would agree that there would be some issues, but I think you'd be surprised who they'd be able to bring in at that point. Would it work? Who knows? But I think most Dallas Cowboy fans agree, whether it's right or wrong, because he's not an idiot. He's drafted some good players, made some good trades, but I think they're, again,
you don't build a franchise to a $10 billion value of being an idiot.
From a business standpoint, but I think the football, all you have to do is just look at the postseason, how his teams continuously falter and fail in postseason play. And every Dallas Cowboy fan, every NFL fan sees it every single year. Dallas Cowboy fans get hyped up, and they're disappointed every single year.
And I know some of it's where we live, but there's more conversation about the Dallas Cowboys than any other NFL franchise out there. That's coast to coast. People love them or hate them. There's no one. I'm like the one guy in the country that's kind of neutral. Whatever. I don't love or hate the Cowboys. I think it's fun when they win because a lot of people listening have fun when they win. But when they lose like they've done, there's a lot of people that love to poke and make fun. All you got to do is get a couple text groups with some guys and see the comments fly back and forth. But, I don't think Jerry's going to be one to succumb to any outside pressure. Just look at Jason Garrett. How many years were people after him to fire Jason Garrett?
That's true.
And he stuck with him probably way beyond that. How many times were people ready to do something different with Tony Romo? And he stuck with me. I just think Jerry digs his heels in. Now, the old clock's ticking too. So, somewhere in the middle of those two thoughts, I think is the truth with what Jerry does here. I don't think he changes head coaches at this point, but, only Jerry knows.
Byron and Rogers texted on the McCarty Daniel hotline, said 7 NFL jobs open now, 9 if Dallas and Philadelphia pull the trigger. How many high-level, championship-level NFL coaches do you think are out there? That's a good question, Byron. I would say that if the Eagles and Dallas Cowboy jobs come open, which I tend to think that might happen, they are better than every other of the 7 jobs I just listed. Now, you can make an argument for the Los Angeles Chargers with Herbert, but Falcons don't have a quarterback in Ritter. I like Bryce Young, but, man, he did not have a good rookie year. Maybe that changes. Raiders don't have a quarterback. I like Geno Smith in Seattle. I don't trust Will Levis in Nashville. And I guess it's Sam Howell in Washington. It's one of the North Carolina quarterbacks. I always get those two mixed up. But I would say the Eagles with Hurts and the Cowboys, as bad as Dak Prescott has been at times in the postseason, those are still more appealing if you're an NFL head coach than any of the other jobs.
Yeah, well, carousel will continue to turn. That's for certain. But we'll see. The Cowboys certainly disappointing, but I think sometimes we just talk the hype up with the Cowboys, and their defense was good enough. I think the reality we'll all have to face, and we all say it, but at some point, is something going to change for that? Is Dak a quarterback that can get you to a Super Bowl? Is Dak a quarterback that can just get you the NFC Championship game? What is it now? It's the longest streak in the NFL. How many seasons? Since 96? Since they've been to the NFC Championship game? It's the longest streak of consecutive playoff appearances without going to the conference title game. The Lions were on that list, but the Cowboys lead that list. So do you have the quarterback that can get you there? I still don't think you've solved that problem either. Hey, we're brought to you by Oaklawn. Another season is underway, and I know a lot of people this time of the year when outside stuff is, doing stuff outside at least is harder to do. You love to go to Oaklawn. Download the Oaklawn Anywhere app. Even on days where you can't make it to the track, you can watch and wager on all the tracks around the country, including Oaklawn as well. They've got new funding options that make depositing and withdrawing easier than ever, and they got some great stakes races that are coming up. Another weekend coming up with the Mockingbird Stakes. That was last weekend. Coming up this weekend, the 5th Seasons is this weekend. And then the following weekend is one of the bigger weekends of the meet at Oaklawn. The Southwest Stakes is coming along with 3 other big stakes races on Saturday, January the 27th. So if you haven't downloaded the Oaklawn Anywhere app, do that now. Use the promo code RUSH24. That's RUSH24 for your $150 sign-up bonus. And you can enjoy all the races and get points for cash back for every dollar wagered as well. That's RUSH24 for the promo code, $150 sign-up bonus. Get the Oaklawn Anywhere app and enjoy another race day coming up this Friday at Oaklawn.
Alrighty, so yesterday we had a good chunk of sports on during Martin Luther King Day, and a good chunk of you did not have to work yesterday. I found myself watching the Ohio State-Michigan game in Ann Arbor, which was on Fox, and the Fab Five were there. And it was like the first time that they had been in Ann Arbor in quite some time. Of course, the legendary freshmen that came and played for Fisher in the 90s. It was a great team, a team that came up just short, and then Arkansas beat the following year. And I have a trivia question for you this morning, and I have a prize to give away for you as well. $25
Didn't know there would be prizes.
CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers gift card. So Arkansas played the Fab Four in 1995 and beat them. I think it was the Elite Eight. Who was the one player that did not come back to Michigan that year? Again, if you want to call or text us on the McCarty Daniel hotline, you could do so at 877-377-6963. They lost in the national championship to North Carolina the year before, and then the one player, and Christian, obviously don't answer this because it's
the North Carolina game was where the timeout was called,
yes,
right?
Yes, the timeout was called.
That's one of the most famous moments.
Yes.
In college basketball.
Yes, and we're getting text. The answer that we've gotten from Jamie May and Alan, or Alan's wrong, Jamie May, you're right. You've got to call us in order to win this gift card. Again, it's 877-377-6963. I'll repeat the question. The Fab Five, the freshman phenoms that came in and played for Steve Fisher in Michigan, who was the one player that did not come back the following year that Arkansas, again, they played the Fab Four and they beat in that Elite Eight game?
So, trivia question to the trivia question. You mentioned Steve Fisher. Who was Steve Fisher started that job as an interim. He took over. Who was I'm trying to remember the name of the coach he took over for late in the year, and they made that run to the title game.
Ooh.
Golly. It wasn't Beilein. God. Anyway, I'll think
John
of that.
Beilein followed him at Michigan.
Yeah. I can't remember that either. But
again, guys, we're getting all these texts. Y'all are a good chunk of you are right. You got to call in. Eric Lopanto, Justin in Bentonville. You've got to call in.
Big C's got someone on the phone. Or
yeah.
All
right, let's put them on air.
Put them on the air, Big C.
Yeah.
Who we got? Producing radio live on the air here. Guys, when you call in, we need your name and where you're calling from. Andy. Andy's on the phone.
Andy's on the phone. Andy, where are you calling from?
The balmy town of Mountain Home, 1 degree.
All right, Andy, what is the answer to our trivia question? The one guy that did not come back the following year for Michigan's Fab Five squad.
I believe it's Chris Webber who called the infamous timeout.
That is correct. Tommy kind of gave you a hint earlier in the program.
I just got in the truck and I heard infamous timeout, and I said, Chris Webber.
Can you name all the Fab Five?
Boy.
Weber,
20 years ago, I could have.
I can name four. I always forget the fifth guy. I can picture his face. I can't ever remember his name.
I know the three. King's the one you forget about.
Yeah. Jimmy Keene, Jalen Rose. That's the
Juwan
four.
Howard.
Who's the head coach?
Juwan Howard.
I always forget the fifth guy. Olsen, is it Jimmy Olsen? Is that the other one? Christian, look that up for us.
I can't remember who Steve Fisher replaced either.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that because it was kind of a last minute or late to say. I don't remember all the details, but Fisher had not been the head coach of that team all season.
Ray Jackson. Jimmy
now,
Keene.
tell me they weren't paying players back then, Tommy.
Of course they were. Of course they were.
I will say, Andy, I don't know about you, so I wasn't born around that. I would say my favorite non-Arkansas basketball team ever was the 2005 Illinois basketball team. Had like D. Brown, Darren Williams. They lost to North Carolina in the 2005 championship. But I know for a lot of people, even though Michigan wasn't their team, people liked that Michigan team. They liked that UNLV, I guess, 90 and 91 squad that had Larry Johnson. I know Arkansas played both of those squads at one point. You had some Georgetown squads with Mourning and Ewing. You had the Phi Slamma Jamma teams with Clyde Drexler, Clyde the Glide, Hakeem Olajuwon. So there are some teams that, even though, and we're an Arkansas Razorback teams that you enjoy to watch, and I know that Michigan might have been one of those. And you beat them, which is always great. They were one of the big 90 teams, and you beat them that year.
All right, we got our Pradco Pyramid of Power coming up. It's Taco Tuesday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. $1 tacos. If you got Cabin Fever, and you want to get out for a good lunch today, $1 tacos. That's crispy beef or chicken tacos. Tomorrow is Nacho Average Wednesday, $1 off all the nachos. And then Throwback Thursdays, they'll take care of you with some great old-style Cuco's platters on Thursdays that they got a rotation of that you will enjoy. Taco Tuesday, today at Joe's Grill and Cantina. They are on South 74th Street, across from Harps in Fort Smith.
Bill Frieder, Tommy, is apparently the guy's name. But that's what Bruce said, the former Michigan coach.
It started as a dream, and here you are. It's moving day. But wait, isn't moving supposed to be stressful? Oh, that's right. You bought your home using Weichert Realtors. Your Weichert agent guided you from start to finish to help make sure we found you your perfect place. Dream, move, home, Weichert. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today and make your move. And look for our bright yellow signs. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Roger Scott for Leaf Guard of Arkansas. Attention homeowners, winter is here and so is the 2024 January Winter Savings Sale. Your chance to upgrade your home with Leaf Guard's exclusive offer. We're on the lookout for 50 savvy homeowners to join our winter savings event. Now this offer is for new orders only and doesn't include material costs, but you contact our knowledgeable sales associates for all the details. Drum roll, please. All right, that's a one-handed drum roll. It's just not the same thing. But 50 lucky homeowners will enjoy an amazing half off on labor for a complete Leaf Guard system. Yeah, that's right, half off. But that's not all. Inquire about our 18 months no-interest financing. Also have special discounts for seniors and military personnel. With a minimum purchase and approved credit, your dream upgrade is within reach. Imagine a spring without muck and mud and shingle grit. Leaf Guard gutters are the only true one-piece seamless covered gutter system on the market, guaranteed to never clog. Check us out at 501-664-5400 or visit LeafGuardandMore.com to secure your spot in the 2024 January Winter Savings Sale. Leaf Guard, your ticket to a worry-free home this winter.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Subiaco in Scranton. If you made a resolution to get reliable internet for the new year, Wave Rural Connect can make that happen. The latest zone covering Subiaco in Scranton is now open. Make this New Year's resolution come true with internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or phone 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news for the new year. Introducing Road Ready Certified used cars, inspected and certified with a comprehensive warranty. You simply can't buy a better used car. Road Ready Certified, only available at Rath Auto Resources. Another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny and bitterly cold. Our highs into the mid-teens north, lower 20 south. Wind chill readings could be anywhere from 10 to 20 below zero. Clear, remaining cold tonight. Overnight lows will be right around 10, and sunshine not as cold, upper 30s Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
I like one good snow, which we have had. And now I'm ready for spring.
Bypass it straight to spring.
Let's just move straight on to an early spring. We've got a nice snow. It's been great. Let's get it melted. Let's turn the page.
I don't really require all four seasons. I could live without winter.
You can live without winter.
I don't really require all four.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McClarty Daniel hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
You know, it's pretty cold across Arkansas right now, but it could be worse. Just saw a graphic in Alaska, Tommy. Minus 74 degrees. My mom actually at one point lived in Alaska. It's -2 in Fayetteville right now. Imagine it being 72 degrees colder. I've never been to Alaska.
Yeah, it's a dry cold.
You think so? I've never been to Alaska. At some point, I'd like to travel to all 50 states. I don't know how long I actually want to stay. I guess Juneau is the capital, right? I've done the states and capitals test.
You go on a summer cruise. Yeah, I believe Juneau is the capital. But you go on a cruise. That's what you do when you go to Alaska. I've never been either. That the one thing I would do in a heartbeat, now not this time of the year, but is go on a cruise to Alaska. You know, a 10-day or you want to do a good one where you see everything.
Is there a lot of
park and all that stuff?
Icebergs?
Some, yeah.
Man,
I say a lot. I don't know, and I've been there.
I would think
we all know somebody though that's been on an Alaskan cruise.
Betty has, hasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Betty that works here.
I don't know a lot of people. That's I've never.
They say the mosquitoes up there are like the size of saucer plates in the summer.
Surprised they
massive mosquitoes in the summer.
Have you been on a cruise?
Never been on a cruise.
I have.
Not dying to go on one.
What'd you think, Big C?
I was young, but I loved it. One time I did get seasick, and that kind of dampened things. And I had salt water. I had the salt on my skin, and I had to wear a suit, and I was miserable. I mean, but overall it was fun. They had stuff to do.
Sounds like it.
Other than those
Other than seasickness and the salt on your skin, it was great.
Yeah. Unfortunate that happened, but
I just don't know that I need to be on a floating buffet. I just really think that's probably a bad idea for me. But I would do, if I was going to do one cruise, I'd do Alaska.
Well, I ate healthy yesterday. I ate 20 wings, only 2 ranches, and 2 Coke Zeros instead of wings, fries, and real Coke. So I feel
really
like that's
healthy.
That's healthy yesterday. And if it was an all-you-can-eat buffet, then I would destroy it at this point. But we can all agree, or at least I say we all agree. At least we agree here on the Morning Rush that fall is our favorite season. Any idea, boys, how far out we are till Arkansas football on a bandwagon Tuesday? See if we jump back on the Arkansas football bandwagon as we get closer.
Well, it's over 100 days, obviously. We're probably 160, somewhere in there. 165, I don't know. Haven't given it a thought, to be honest with you.
That doesn't sound too long.
I may be way off. I thought you had the answers while you were asking.
I do have the answer, but I'm going to double-check my math because that is not what I wrote down.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm purely guessing.
Okay, Christian, what do you think?
I'll say 220.
It's August, just to help, it's August 31st.
I'd have known that.
Christian's a lot closer.
Yeah.
It's 228.
Okay.
220 days out. You're pretty close, Big C.
Honestly, I hadn't given it really any thought. I could have stopped and counted months and multiplied by 30 and been a lot closer.
Yeah. So we are getting a long way out from Arkansas football to this point, but we are excited for our favorite season, which seems to be fall here on the Morning Rush. Fall ranking. I'm fall, summer, spring, winter. Tommy is fall, spring, summer, winter. Do you have spring or summer over the top, Christian?
I don't really like the summer too much when it's like very, very hot. So I'll go with spring.
2 springs ahead in the 2 seed at this point. Well, either way, winter.
People
sucks.
are dying to know.
Winter sucks.
People are dying to know. It is, it is going to get better though. What'd you say? Up to 19 today or something, which doesn't sound very good, but relatively speaking to where we've been, it's going to be a lot better today. And you can actually see the lines on the road again. They've scraped them off enough and put enough chemicals down or whatever to get, where you can at least see the center lines, so to speak.
I haven't had any issues driving whatsoever.
I
don't know why people are freaking out. I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and this is going to let's just call a spade a spade. The men don't freak out about weather. Women freak out about weather.
I will say, man.
It is amazing to me, like, it's not every woman, and there are some men that but it's like as soon as snow comes down, everyone freaks out. I don't understand it. It's just you just drive a little slower.
Yeah.
You put your
some people drive too much slower.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
I mean, the roads were clear and very passable today, and I got behind a line of cars trying to get here this morning, doing 23 miles an hour for no reason at all.
Going on the interstate,
what is it, like 45? What's an acceptable speed to be driving?
Probably
like
30, 35. 23 is not the number.
Were they in the right-hand lane?
Well, this was the road out here in front.
Way?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
2-lane road.
I'd rather be safe than sorry, I guess, at this point. But
23 is problematic.
We'll see how many people it prohibits from getting to Fayetteville tonight, or just it's an excuse. I think it's
there's the better question. What kind of crowd do you have tonight? Considering the start to SEC play, it's not going to be a full building. Considering the way they've played, 8 o'clock start, weather, road conditions, kids are most likely back in school tomorrow. I don't know. Is there 15,000 there, or is it smaller than that?
I'd say smaller. Maybe I'm wrong, but I say smaller at this point.
I hope we are.
Either way, you got tough competition. Courtside with Eric Muss was talking with Chuck just on the league itself. A&M, while they're 1-2, it's not going to be an easy task tonight.
This league is really, really good. Right now we've played 3 teams that outplayed us. We have a 4th opportunity coming against a team that just beat Kentucky and is a team that has a ton of veterans back in Texas A&M.
That's what stinks about this Aggies team that's stepping foot into Bud Walton Arena is they're experienced, and they're going to be able to carve you up. Number 1 offensive rebounding team in all of college basketball. You struggled last week against Florida and Georgia in that category. Mekhi Mitchell's going to have to be big. Jalen Graham's going to have to get some offensive rebounds. And Arkansas's got a guard rebound. That's one of the things that Arkansas the last 3 years been really good at is their guards rebounded. Now, it helps when your point guard is 6'7", and Anthony Black, who could sky, and we're seeing him have success in the NBA, which makes sense why he had success in college. But these smaller guards that Arkansas have relative to what they've used to, they've got to gang rebound, or it's going to be a bloodbath tonight.
All right, looking at the Bet Saracen app, have you looked at this yet?
I'm going to say A&M is favored by 6.
Ooh, what do you think, Big C?
I'm going to say A&M is favored by 3.
He wins. Although he went over, so he doesn't get both showcases. A&M favored by 2.5.
Okay,
that's it.
Arkansas catching 2.5 on the Bet Saracen app.
That's Bud Walton for you. Even though Auburn beat breaks off of us.
Well, A&M's only one. A&M has brought some better teams than Arkansas's had. Bud Walton before, and Arkansas's beat them. They've only won one time since joining the SEC, so maybe that holds true. Arkansas can't seem to win in Reed Arena, and they can't seem to win in Bud Walton Arena. So hopefully that stays the same tonight. Arkansas gets their first SEC win. Because if you start 0-4, you might as well just start the bus at that point.
All right, some over-unders on players, some player props. Wade Taylor, over-under 18.5.
Over.
Radford, 14.5.
Over. 15 and 19, yeah, over.
Tremont Mark, 14.5.
I'd say over.
He's going to have to go over.
Yeah. Brazil, 8.5.
Under.
Devontae. Devo, 6.5.
When is Brazil going to go over like
Under.
9 points? I feel like he either gets like 9 to 8 points a game at the.
Yeah. You can find more player prop bets and all the action on tonight's game. Go to the Bet Saracen app. If you haven't downloaded it to your phone, just go wherever you get apps and download it now. Search for Bet Saracen or go to BetSaracen.com for videos and more info on the Bet Saracen app, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app.
Eric Musselman has never finished a college basketball season under 20 wins. First season in Arkansas, they got to 20. If they do this year and this season is a failure, how does Muss handle that? How does Muss handle a losing season and a season that they had expectations and didn't meet them? We'll answer that next.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
This is Dave Neal with ESPN. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience,
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McCarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McCarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McCarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
If you hope heaven has a bar, it's guaranteed that you'll be bounced and barred. Heaven is reserved for those who have put their hope in God's Word. Jesus said you must be born again by trusting in Him, or you won't see the kingdom of heaven. God set the bar so high, that's why Jesus had to die. If you refuse God's last call, the Holy Spirit will serve you a fireball. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business, on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
His first Elite Eight since 1995, first Sweet 16 since 1995, back to back to back. And then at Nevada as well, had some strong teams and, again, some solid records where he had success there. The lowest win total at Nevada he had was 24 wins. 24 wins, 28 wins, 29 wins, and 29 wins. And 3 straight NCAA appearances for the Wolfpack. This would be, again, the first season in quite some time not making the NCAA tournament. So if this team flounders, if they continue to falter and fail like they have through 3 conference games and in other points this season, how is he going to handle that? This is a guy that's highly motivated. We see how tough losses are to him. We joke about the pool house, how he sleeps out there and stuff. I would expect, like when Bruce Pearl and John Calipari missed the tournament in 2021, that they respond and rally and have a really good team next year. Now, they're not 100% out just yet, but I think the failure is going to motivate them. There's some that speculate that he would leave after a losing season. Now, what does concern me is that USC and UCLA suck right now. Mick Cronin and Andy Hill are not having good seasons out west. And I think UCLA would be more likely of a position, if that were to come open, that should scare you and worry you a little bit, because I think that's where his heart is. But in terms of what could happen here next year, if they don't make the tournament, they continue to lose, I think that they'd be highly motivated. I think he'd be more motivated than ever to have a good season next year.
You mentioned the records and getting to 20 wins. At 9-7, you got to win 11 of your next 15 SEC games to have a 20-win. I mean, just that's not an opinion. That's math. All right? You're 0-3 in league play. That leaves you 15 games. You got to win 11 of 15 to get to 20 wins in the regular season. Heading to Nashville.
This might have to
soak that in a little bit this morning.
This might have to be a 2000 Arkansas squad. A 2,000.
Well, I mean, but that doesn't change the fact that, I mean, I hear what you're saying about the tournament. I mean, I know where you're headed there, but you've got to win 11 of the next 15 to get to 20 wins in the regular season.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't comprehend, after the way things have been the last few years, we don't even comprehend that till it hits us in the face like a cast iron skillet.
Yeah, that math does not necessarily compute.
Yeah, I mean, it warps my brain to think that way. But that's not an opinion, that's math. And that's what has to happen. Unbelievable.
Again,
no one would. You'd have taken that bet all day that Arkansas would never be in this position.
Yeah,
with a top 5 portal class. There's no way. And here you are.
Added 2 guys
with no significant injury.
Yeah, I think Bayfall made the All-American or the McDonald's All-American team. I think Layden was at least invited or was a possible guy. I can't remember the name for that, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we've said similar things. I mean, I would love to listen to my thoughts 1 and 5 heading into the 7th conference game last year, or 2 and 4 heading into your 7th game 2 years ago, or I think they started 1 and 3 3 years ago. I would love to hear what I was saying then, and then what actually occurred and happened. And I hope that we're in that similar circumstance. But again, the NBA talent that was on those rosters that you don't have currently on the roster really pulled you out. And Muss, again, huge part of that. But you just don't necessarily have that talent that's currently walking into Bud Walton Arena at night. A&M might have it, but I don't know if you do.
Well, you just stop and think. I mean, at some point, though, we can talk about Muss figuring it out, putting it together. I think it's becoming more and more clear to all of us that that's not the likely scenario of how this plays out. But at the same time, who built this team? Who put this roster together? Who constructed this? Who chose to go heavy in the portal? At some point, Musselman has to own some of what's happening here. And we can talk about players and the way we're coaching them up and the drills we're running in practice. And I don't think Eric Musselman's forgotten one thing about basketball. I just think he's made some decisions that seemed wise and smart at the time that just for a variety of reasons haven't worked out. But in the end, he has to own what's happening here because he's the one that constructed the roster with a very heavy transfer portal mix.
And that's the danger of the transfer portal because it's hit or miss. I mean,
right.
You might get some good players, you might get some bad players.
But you don't, and I don't think he's gotten bad players. I just don't think the players play well together for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That is, again, your Morning Rush Daily question. If Arkansas and Eric Musselman fail, how does he handle it? Not just in the offseason, but heading into next season as well. It's presented by our friends at Red River Dodge.
Red River Dodge is in Heber Springs. They are Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. You can log on at redriverdodge.com.
All right, before we get to our friend Bruce Stan of Pradco Fishing, how about them Buffalo Bills yesterday?
Josh steps up, and he's going to get the first down. Oh, and there he goes. No one's going to get him. Incredible, breaks it for the touchdown. 52 yards.
We get another Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes matchup in the playoffs. I think it's the 3rd one. We've seen them play in the regular season a few more times. This is the first time, though, it will be in Buffalo.
Right.
Last 2 have been in Arrowhead. Josh has been playing out of his mind as of late. I know he didn't have a great game against Miami, but you think about their record in December and early January. This is an iconic matchup that I was hoping we'd get, and now it's going to play out in front of us. We got a cold. It's going to be 23 degrees, no snow in Buffalo this Sunday when the game is going to be going on at 5:30.
That highlight you played there, he ran into and made contact with the defender out there, and then kind of shoulder shaked or got free, and then hit good speed again and got to the goal line. Everybody kind of thought that play was dead, and it was still a good run if it had ended where it should have ended. But Josh Allen showed his athleticism, and I don't know about top-end speed, but he had enough to get to the end zone on that particular run.
He ended with 4 touchdowns yesterday, and they advanced. You also had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield advance past the Philadelphia Eagles. We were speculating on Nick Sirianni's job security as they lose a bunch of games down the stretch if Howie Roseman, their GM, makes a decision on his future, even though they were in a Super Bowl 2 years ago. But that's just the life of the NFL coach. But yes, we have playoffs set in front of us next week. I'm excited for for these divisional round games. Again, that's the best one. Bills and Chiefs is the best game this next week, but you do have some entertaining ones as well. The Texans going to Baltimore. That's 3:30 on ESPN. The Packers will go to San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan has owned the Packers in his playoff tenure. That's at 7:15 on Saturday. The Bucs will go to the Lions. Lions are a 6-point favorite. And then you again have the Chiefs and the Bills, where the Bills are a 2.5-point favorite. So 5:30. So you don't even have a late game this next Sunday. I like the setup for these NFL games. 2-2 next week.
Well,
this week.
College basketball tonight. The SEC featuring 4 games, including the Tennessee Volunteers taking on the Florida Gators. That game probably has more significance when we hear those two names together on the gridiron than on the hardwood. But Bruce Stanton joins us now with Pradco Fishing. Early game today, Bruce, at 4 o'clock our time. Early start out east, Florida and Tennessee. Looking forward to another couple of big nights of SEC basketball.
Well, they got the snow coming to Knoxville. That ruined my productivity after 4 o'clock. I'm going to try to work, but that'll be kind of hard with a game on ESPN2 at 4 p.m.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw they moved that up yesterday at this point. Florida is a lot better than I think people anticipated. They really added their front court, and I think Arkansas fans saw it firsthand this past Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, they're always tough down there. O'Connell's a tough place to play. It always has been. But, you know, the key in the SEC, you got to steal some road games, and you got to win your home games. So Tennessee, you know, stole one at Georgia. Should have got beat. We're down by 11 with 8 minutes left. Found a way to win it, and now they just got to hold serve today.
Yeah, we're just looking over standings and win-loss totals, and there's a lot of teams. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams, 11 teams in the SEC right now that have 10 or more wins. Arkansas falling behind, as we were talking a minute ago. Just to get to 20 regular season wins, you'd have to win 11 of the next 15. That doesn't seem very likely at this point.
You know, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound likely, but, anything can happen. We played 3 games. You're kind of seeing some settling out. And, if you're an Arkansas fan, you don't like being next to Vanderbilt in any standings unless it's baseball. So this tough place to be, and you're going to find out what you're made of. You got to win some games if you're going to turn this around. Otherwise, you get down. This could spiral on you.
All right, let's see how things settle out this week in the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Who are the best basketball teams in the SEC? SEC! Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
All right, we'll start with who's on top. Is it Kentucky or Tennessee on top, Tommy?
Neither.
Who am I missing?
I agree with you.
I'm going with the Auburn Tigers.
I agree with you.
I'm going with the Auburn Tigers. I got Auburn number 1. 14-2. They beat LSU 93-78. I think they're playing the best basketball right now. Kentucky losing, but and Tennessee's got the loss, but they're 3-0 in league play. I'm going with number 13th ranked Auburn. They got Vandy tomorrow night. That shouldn't be much of a challenge, but Vandy gave a little bit of a run to Ole Miss over the weekend. But I got Auburn, Bruce, top of the heap.
I agree with you. It's going to get interesting in the next 6 games. They actually play Alabama twice, then they play Ole Miss and Mississippi State in their next 6 games. So, they come through that unscathed. They might have a special season, but I think that Alabama, that'll probably be a split.
Yeah. All right, I got Tennessee in the number 2 spot. They beat Georgia, a scrappy Georgia team, 85-79. With Kentucky's loss, I thought it was an easy call to put Tennessee again at number 2.
Yeah, I got Tennessee there. You can see the chink in Tennessee's armor. It's a big man. They struggled with Zach Edey when they lost to Purdue earlier, and Mississippi State's got Tolu Smith back, and he's a beast down low, and Tennessee couldn't cover him. He had his way one-on-one against Adu, and that was very tough for Tennessee. So if you got a big man that can score, you got a chance to beat the Vols.
Tennessee gets Auburn at home this year. I was looking at that schedule, so they do have the luxury in a few weeks, or I say a few weeks, and more than that, to get them at home rather than have to go to the jungle.
We mentioned it.
Bruce will get a big welcome back again.
There you go. Mentioned at the top of the segment, Tennessee, Florida play tonight. That game's in Knoxville. It's an early start because of weather at 4 o'clock. All right, so Auburn 1, Tennessee 2. I moved Kentucky down to number 3 after losing to A&M in overtime over the weekend. I got Kentucky at 2-1 in league play, 12-3 overall, ranked 8th in the country, number 3 in the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
I agree with you. We're the same, 1, 2, and 3. The veteran guards at A&M, Wade Taylor, they gave Kentucky's young guys some problems. They showed a lot at the end of the game and in overtime. Shepard missed a free throw there at the end that could have helped Kentucky. So, I think that veteran team that A&M's got, even though they're 1 and 2 in league play, they rose the occasion against Kentucky.
Had South Carolina number 4 last week. I kept them there. I really debated over this. 14-2 on the year, 2-1. They dropped their midweek game, beat Missouri over the weekend. I just like the way they're playing. I got South Carolina still inside the top 6.
Well, I still got them in the top 6, but I had to move Alabama up to number 4. They're 3-0. They're off to a really good start to conference play after a tough non-conference schedule. They play at Tennessee this week, and then they play Auburn, so we'll see what happens.
All right, I got Ole Miss at 5. They're 15-1. Probably deserve to be higher in many regards. They beat Vanderbilt on Saturday, 69-56. They get a tough road game tomorrow night for the Ole Miss Rebels at LSU. I got them number 5 this week.
Yeah, I agree with you. Ole Miss has rebounded well since getting blown out at Tennessee.
Yeah. And I've got Alabama at 6. I'm going to guess you got South Carolina at 6 based on what we talked about. Alabama is 3-0 in league play. They're 11-5. They played a very tough non-conference schedule. They beat Mississippi State on Saturday, 82-74. They take on Missouri. Tonight, I got Alabama at number 6 in the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Yeah, we flipped them. I got South Carolina. Anytime you went on the road, especially when you're trying to establish a program like South Carolina is, any win on the road is a good one in the SEC, and they've done it. So they're number 6.
All right. That's what I got 1 through 6. Auburn, Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Alabama, 1 through 6. After that, I don't know, it becomes a little bit of a roll of the dice. But I got A&M after their win over Kentucky at number 7, followed by Florida, Georgia, Mississippi State, LSU, and then the bottom 3 are pretty easy at this point. Arkansas, Missouri, Vanderbilt are clearly the bottom 3 teams in this league right now.
Yeah, those bottom 3, they need to start winning some games, or they might not even be NIT eligible.
Yeah, we're getting to that point where the top 3 and the bottom 3 are easily identifiable. It's everything in the middle that can change a lot week to week.
Yeah, and you just, it's hard to win road games in the SEC, any conference. But this league, there's going to be some teams roll into Nashville. They're going to lose to Vanderbilt. It's going to happen, and it could be Kentucky, it could be Tennessee. It's just tough to win on the road in this league.
All right, Ty, where were we right? Where were we wrong in the Pradco Pyramid of Power?
I was hoping I mentioned Tennessee and Kentucky because I thought you'd put one of them. Auburn's right. I put Auburn at 1, Kentucky at 2, Tennessee at 3. I got Bama at 4. Their non-conference schedule, like Tennessee, was brutal. Their record isn't a great indication of how good I think they're going to be in SEC play. And I put Ole Miss at 5 and USC or South Carolina at 6.
Okay.
So I have the same teams, just in different order.
Different order. All right, tonight, Florida at Tennessee, as we mentioned. Missouri travels to Tuscaloosa tonight. Georgia's at South Carolina. And, of course, the Razorbacks host A&M in the late game. Who has the best shot tonight of pulling an upset in these 4 games, guys?
Hopefully Arkansas. What do you think, Bruce?
I would think it's Florida. Tennessee does have the problems offensively at times. Although I must say, if you watch Dalton Connect the last 2 games, 36 and 28, I think he's emerging as a Player of the Year candidate. He keeps that up, he's going to win it. But Tennessee still goes through these spells where they don't score for 4 or 5 minutes. It's kind of concerning, and it keeps other teams in the game, and you're just going to lose some games when you do that.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it'd be Florida with the way they played and the points they put on the board. Tomorrow night, Mississippi State and Kentucky in Lexington. Ole Miss travels to LSU, and then Auburn at Vandy. Anyone on upset alert tomorrow night in the league?
Yeah, Mississippi State, the way they're playing, I know they lost on Saturday, but the way they looked against Tennessee with Tolu Smith, the way he's playing since he came back from injury, I think that could give Kentucky some problems. Kentucky's still young. and how they're going to cope with their first loss. And what people think, Rupp's not as big a home court advantage as you would think. The students aren't real engaged. It doesn't get as loud as it used to. I could see Mississippi State going in there and winning.
I'll say Ole Miss needs to watch out going to Baton Rouge. LSU lost over the weekend to a good Bama team, but I think, probably a good Auburn team, but I think Ole Miss going to Baton Rouge, that game's tomorrow night on the SEC Network. That might be one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'd say that's LSU's better than I thought they would. They got to win early. I can't remember who they beat earlier this year, but they got to win earlier this year. That surprised me. I've found my Tuesday and Wednesday nights have now been occupied with SEC basketball. Hopefully, the Arkansas keeps me interested because I don't really care about the league if they don't start winning. But we'll see.
They won at A&M, didn't they? LSU.
Yes, that's the win. Yeah, they went on the road in College Station because that's what helped to
first game out of the box.
Yeah,
that was a shock.
Yeah,
that was a shock.
I think when I saw that score, I was like, "Did Yahoo mess it up on the app?" And apparently they didn't. They won I think they won by like 12 or 15 too.
Yeah. All right, Bruce Stanton's with Pradco Fishing. I guess you normally use a 100-mile-an-hour suit if you're out there right now. I think you need a 200-mile-an-hour. One of them 200-mile-an-hour suits if you're getting out on the river or a lake right now. It'd be a cold boat ride this morning, my man.
Yesterday, I actually walked down to Wells Lake. I was going to go trout fishing with my Rebel TD-47. I always do that. They stock trout down there, and anytime there's a snow, I like walking the half mile through the woods and going down and catch a fish. My daughter-in-law, Courtney, said, well, the lake's going to be frozen over. And I was like, well, no, there's no way it's going to be frozen over. And she said, well, I'll bet you. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll bet you I'll watch the Miss America pageant instead of the football game if the lake's frozen. And, dude, I rolled up on that lake. It was frozen, and I did watch Madison Marsh get crowned Miss America because I lost that bet.
Well,
so didn't get to watch the end of the Packers game. That was my fault.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to brave maybe a little less frigid temperatures, maybe closer to the weekend, it is going to be cold, but maybe more fishable and less frozen over. What is the right lure to take along?
Well, I talked to my man Donald Craner up on the White River where you like going, and they're throwing rogues right now. They're catching brown trout, and it really doesn't matter what the temperature is. That water's in the 40s, and the brown trout are going to be biting, especially this time of year. So that's my sure bet right now. Go to the White River and find you someone you like to go fishing with, and go throw that rogue and go catch some fish. Chrome black, chrome blue, clown, any of those top-selling colors will work on those brown trout this time of year.
Now, I've never been when it's been as cold as it is right now, but I've been up there when it's been in the upper teens, around 20. And when you got to get back in the river to warm up because out on the bank is colder, that's when you probably should have made a better decision.
Well, the thing you struggle with this time of year is your rod guides will freeze up quite a bit. You got to keep dipping your rod in the water and, loosen up that ice around your rod guides. But, other than that, if you can handle the cold, you'll catch fish. And, you can look at some of the posts lately on all the guys' websites. I mean, they are catching brown trout right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Bruce, we'll see you next Tuesday, and appreciate everything this morning.
All right, good talking to y'all.
Bruce Stanton, Pradco Fishing, with us here every Tuesday. We do the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
So he brought up Madison Marsh, who I want to make sure I get this right. It's Miss America. It's not Miss USA. I got chastised yesterday for saying it wrong, so I apologize, Madison. We do have the audio for you. I know a lot of our audience wasn't with us yesterday with it being Martin Luther King Day. For those that missed it, Fort Smith's own Madison Marsh walked away with Miss America 2024.
Be your new Miss America. Good luck, ladies.
Your Miss America 2024 is Miss Colorado, Madison Marsh.
We want to congratulate the first runner-up.
Our first runner-up.
All right, so again, people are wondering why is it Miss Colorado? You can explain that.
Well, she was in the Air Force in Colorado Springs, is where the Air Force Academy is. She's, I believe, a 2019 graduate of Southside High School in Fort Smith. Went there. Now she's at Harvard. So she's went from Air Force Academy to Harvard, and then I believe will come back and serve some time in the military. You talk about a resume. and a young lady that's put a great track record already together for herself at a young age. What an impressive resume so far for her. And I know her. She's promoting and raising funds for her mom's foundation. She lost her mom to pancreatic cancer.
At 17 years old.
Yeah,
she was either a junior or senior in high school.
I didn't know her mom, but we were at Southside around the same time, and her grandfather was in the real estate business for a number of years, Rod Calhoun. So, what a great story. When you hear the entire story, you're going to be awfully proud she's from your state and maybe your hometown.
Corey Keller, she finished 11th. She was Miss Arkansas, and she's from Stuttgart, and I actually got to interview her once when I lived there. And, yeah, I know she was happy to win Miss Arkansas.
All right, so congratulations to both of those ladies, and congratulations to Madison Marsh. So, all right, we were talking just a second ago about catching those big browns and those rainbows. Bruce was really getting kind of my juices flowing to go fishing. Even though it's cold outside, it is a great time to be at Gaston's. Winter rates are in effect. Call 870-431-5202 and ask about winter rates off their lodging. You can get the biggest discounts of the year. It's a great time in February to go with one of their expert guides as the area below the dam above the state park reopens, and that's when some of the best fish of the year are caught, and some of the best pictures and some of the best trophy rainbows and browns are caught is during that time. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Got my keg in the freezer. We're ready to get this thing rolling and go home, baby.
You're listening to The Morning Rush. Join ESPN Arkansas in The Morning Rush in supporting Arkansas Children's Northwest all month long. We will be raising money to help Arkansas Children's Northwest fulfill its promise of making children better today and healthier tomorrow. You can donate now through February 2nd online at hitthatline.com. Be sure to click on the Morning Rush fundraising link brought to you by Honda of Fayetteville. Buy or lease your dream vehicle today. View online at hondaoffayetteville.com or stop by their showroom inside Fayetteville Auto Park.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
This is The Morning Rush.
This is the game that they are saying national championship.
And we're floating in a sea of red.
It's time to vote for your favorite high school player of the week. ESPN Arkansas and Shamrock Roofing and Construction are recognizing the most outstanding high school student athletes. Visit hitthatline.com each week to vote for your favorite athlete of the week. The high school player of the week is brought to you by Shamrock Roofing and Construction. No one can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock. Visit them at shamrockroofer.com. Visit the nominees each week at hitthatline.com.
Gelco Outdoors is ready to help keep you warm during the cold winter days. Keep warm in insulated bib overalls, jackets, coats, vests, socks, gloves, boots, and underwear. Warm up with great savings on the 50% off clearance racks of men's, women's, and children's casual wear. Gelco has a great selection of Little Buddy space heaters. Gelco Outdoors, your local store for cold winter gear. Be safe and stay warm from Gelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote. Get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey and Hole Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey and Hole understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street at Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, so Eric Musselman talked a lot of things with Chuck Barrett on Courtside with Eric Musselman, and one of the things he spoke to was just them practicing and rebounding. Texas A&M, number one offensive rebounding team in the country coming into your building tonight. They're trying new things, but I don't really know what else to do at this point.
We practiced good. We followed the game plan in practice, but we talked at nausea about rebounding against Florida, and it didn't happen. So not sure what we'll do. Obviously Monday we'll practice because we play Tuesday, and just try to get ready for Texas A&M. They create a lot of problems with their defense. They mix up coverages and play half zone, half man, and you've got to have great basketball IQ to beat them from an offensive standpoint.
So I have advocated that you just roll out with 8 guys tonight and you stick with those 8 guys. I think guys are tense on this team. I think that they feel like if they make a mistake, they're going to get yanked out because he's trying to figure things out. And it is sad that we're 3 games into conference play and he still has no idea what the rotation looks like. And that's not 100% on Muss, but players haven't exactly given him reasons to keep them in consistently, even when they make mistakes. So, again, that being said, hopefully they just stick with some guys tonight and get through the punches. Maybe they get through it. Maybe the A&M game is close, or maybe they get beat by 30 again like they did against Auburn.
Well, that's what can't happen. First and foremost, obviously they need to win. They need to get off an 0-3 start. They need to win their home games. So let's start there. We talked about earlier, you got to win 11 of 15. Well, you got, 8 home games left? We're just talking about trying to scare 20 wins. It's becoming evident that this team's going to be having to find something else to play for besides maybe earning their way into the tournament in the regular season. But as you mentioned, maybe you pull a 2000 and you go win it all in Nashville. Well, you got to build to that point. You don't just wait till March and flip the switch. So you got to start by winning some games. You got to win probably 7 of the last 8 at home and 2 or 3 on the road, and then you're going to have to go there and, like you said, make a run to maybe sneak in. I don't know, and that doesn't even sound realistic sitting here today on January 16th, that's even a possibility. But what also doesn't seem like a possibility is to earn your way into the tournament on your regular season performance. So what else you got to play for? Well, you better, hey, we're gonna get this thing turned in the right direction, and then we're gonna go make a heck of a run in Nashville. I don't know. You got to find some other things to motivate you at this point.
It's a death sentence to start in Nashville on a Wednesday where the bottom 4 teams do. Thursday, it's not exactly easy to get through 4 straight games, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're not going to be a top 4 seed this year, so you're not going to start playing on Friday. So, again, it's difficult.
Man, maybe that's the motivation is, hey, we're going to play our way out of the bottom 4.
You got to find something. You should, something. And what if Muss was sitting here
maybe
with
you can play your way. Could this team still play their way? They absolutely could still play their way into the top 8.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem likely, but that's absolutely a possibility to be a 7 or 8 seed.
Yeah, and they would start on Thursday in the SEC tournament. Muss, if he was sitting here, he would tell us this team doesn't need to, again, find motivation, that they should be motivated enough. What they should. I mean, you're playing for Arkansas basketball. The past teams, and I know Jalen Graham, Mekhi Mitchell, Devo Davis is here, but, I mean, I don't know if they're getting encouraging texts from former players in the last 3 years, but I would guess that these players to this point have been disappointed with how the way they played. And the newcomers, there's a standard that Muss has established here. Like, his formula has been proven to work. So whatever you're doing or trying to do, it's worked. It hasn't always been the prettiest at times, but elite, sweet. This is a proven formula here at Arkansas, and we'll see if they adapted it at any point, or if it's too late when they adapt.
But you've changed the formula on roster construction too, and that's where that's where it begins. As we talked about earlier in the hour, head coach Eric Musselman, he made a decision to go very heavy in the portal. And listen, I don't fault him. I'd have done the same thing. We talked a lot about the experience level of the teams that made the Sweet 16. I think the call was right. It just hasn't worked out. Sometimes you make good decisions that don't work out. So far, I would say the decision to go with more experienced players out of the portal for this year's roster, correct decision. But it just hasn't come together and panned out. For whatever reason, it's like you got 3 different jigsaw puzzles all in the same box, and you just can't put it together.
Bunch of corner pieces.
Yeah, you just can't make it work.
So when are you going to definitively say this team? And even if we say definitively, they technically could still go on a run. I don't think anyone in 2000 predicted that Arkansas team would make the NCAA tournament. They had to win the SEC tournament, and I think that's their only SEC tournament win ever in terms of winning the whole thing. I guess you can't even say until the SEC tournament concludes that this team has been eliminated from NCAA tournament discussion, because they could be playing really bad and then somehow, some way, go on a miraculous run. I don't remember.
But what would prompt that run? What would be the catalyst? What would spark that?
Luck. Nothing but
luck.
Pure
Luck's not a plan.
Nothing
man.
But pure luck.
That's
when it
not
comes
a plan.
to this basketball team. Well, he's running out. I mean,
you're just wishing. Now you're wishing. You're not. That's not a plan.
Would you want to, if you were Arkansas, would you want to make it to the playing game in Dayton and just lose, or would you rather not go to the tournament at all?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if we can you take Dayton right now. They said, well, you're not going to make the Sweet 16, but you go to Dayton. Absolutely.
You take that?
Absolutely. Still in the tournament.
Yeah, I guess that, and be 4 straight tournament appearances with it moving again to, I guess, 64 to 68. Again, that is your Hog Update. Basketball Center, again, 8 o'clock tonight on the SEC Network, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I know you get asked this a lot. Do you like Fig Newtons, Tommy?
Nope, don't like them.
You don't like Fig Newtons. That was my grandpa's favorite food back in the day. It's more of, I would say, an old man food. The 3 things that my grandpa used to love eat Papaw were Fig Newtons, peanut brittle, and golf crackers. Golf crackers are pretty much any age, but those were the 3.
What are golf crackers?
The orange crackers that are in the packets of 6. I
Well,
don't know
I've
what
never heard
brand.
I've never heard anyone call them golf crackers.
He called them golf crackers because he ate them every time he played golf.
Oh, like
but
the cheese and peanut butter.
Yeah, the cheese
crackers.
and peanut butter ones. But he always got the orange ones for some reason. And my mamaw would have umpteen packets of them over and over again.
My mamaw would always have peppermints and orange slices.
Peppermints and orange slices.
Orange slices are good.
Do you have a food that your grandpa or one of your grandpas ate that you have latched on to? I don't eat Fig Newtons anymore. I like peanut butter brittle. It's never round.
Well,
but I do love, he kind of got me on the what he called golf crackers.
My grandfather loved ice cream, and he didn't discriminate against any flavor or any size container. If it was a small one or a big one, it didn't matter to him. Ice cream, it was never, even a day like today in the weather, would be a good day for ice cream.
Oh, I'd eat shake. I eat shakes all the time. I don't care how cold it is.
I'd say ice cream is something, homemade ice cream especially, is probably something that is a Kraft family tradition for sure. Hey, be sure and help us out by going to hitthatline.com and clicking on the Arkansas Children's Hospital tab there and help support Arkansas Children's Northwest. We're proud to be a part of their radiothon that's coming up on February the 2nd. You can donate now at hitthatline.com. And again, click on the Morning Rush link. We got a little competition between our show, Halftime, and Ruskin and Zach. And it's all brought to you by Honda of Fayetteville. Buy or lease your dream vehicle today and view inventory online at hondaoffayetteville.com or stop by their showroom inside the Fayetteville Auto Park. Again, go to hitthatline.com and donate today.
And Teraziptide is a weight loss game changer. This is what the medical community is saying about the latest FDA-approved weight loss medication. Vici Aesthetics and Wellness is offering a detailed program to all of Arkansas and Missouri, in office or telemedicine visits available. To schedule your medical consultation and get started on the #1 prescription choice by medical providers for safe and effective weight loss, call or text 479-343-8424. 479-343-8424.
Roger Scott for Leaf Guard of Arkansas. Attention homeowners, winter is here and so is the 2024 January Winter Savings Sale. Your chance to upgrade your home with Leaf Guard's exclusive offer. We're on the lookout for 50 savvy homeowners to join our winter savings event. Now this offer is for new orders only and doesn't include material costs, but you contact our knowledgeable sales associates for all the details. Drum roll please. All right, that's a one-handed drum roll. It's just not the same thing. But 50 lucky homeowners will enjoy an amazing half off on labor for a complete Leaf Guard system. Yeah, that's right, half off. But that's not all. Inquire about our 18 months no interest financing. Also have special discounts for seniors and military personnel. With a minimum purchase and approved credit, your dream upgrade is within reach. Imagine a spring without mucking, mud, and shingle grit. Leaf Guard gutters are the only true one-piece seamless covered gutter system on the market, guaranteed to never clog. Check us out at 501-664-5400 or visit LeafGuardandMore.com to secure your spot in the 2024 January Winter Savings Sale. Leaf Guard, your ticket to a worry-free home this winter.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is The Morning Rush.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
High folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news for the new year. Introducing Road Ready certified used cars, inspected and certified with a comprehensive warranty. You simply can't buy a better used car. Road Ready certified, only available at Rath Auto Resources. Another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
The Golf Nut has a great selection of Arkansas hoodies and in-game shirts from Nike. The Golf Nut also has the best selection of clubs like Callaway Paradigm, TaylorMade Stealth 2, and Peen G430, along with a wide assortment of shoes, apparel, and golf bags. Needing help with your game? Call Matt Brooks and schedule a lesson on the simulator at 646-4430. Matt has over 10 years in the golf industry. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, your #1 golf shop since 1994.
Subiaco in Scranton. If you made a resolution to get reliable internet for the new year, Wave Rural Connect can make that happen. The latest zone covering Subiaco and Scranton is now open. Make this New Year's resolution come true with internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or phone 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny and bitterly cold. Our highs into the mid-teens north, lower 20 south. Wind chill readings could be anywhere from 10 to 20 below zero. Clear, remaining cold tonight. Overnight lows will be right around 10, and sunshine not as cold, upper 30s Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
I like one good snow, which we have had, and now I'm ready for spring.
Bypass it straight to spring.
Let's just move straight on to an early spring. We've got a nice snow. It's been great. Let's get it melted. Let's turn the page.
I don't really require all 4 seasons. I could live without winter.
You can live without winter.
I don't really require all 4.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McClarty Daniel hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
Yes, sir.
It was cold this weekend across the great state of Arkansas, in Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas, and in Buffalo, New York. I don't know if I would have the stones to sit through the games in both Arrowhead and Orchard Park. And another game in Orchard Park this weekend, not going to be as chilly. 5:30 on Sunday features Josh Allen on the Buffalo Bills and Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. 23 degrees. Not as bad. No projection of snow or sleet or any of that at this point in time, but we do have a fun NFL slate ahead of us, and Tommy, it's going to cool down not just in Orchard Park and Buffalo, but here in Arkansas in the next few days. At least for our standard. Cool. I say cool down, warm up.
Let's say I was confused there. It's going to warm up to like 20. It's been colder than
20 degrees.
It's been like colder than usual, but I think we are supposed to get back to the 40s and something a little more temperate coming up. It is the new year. It is January. We're shocked sometimes that it's cold, but it is January. And, the new year brings new resolutions, new thoughts, and maybe new goals and direction. One of them is your health and your weight. You're looking to trim some pounds off. Give me a moment to tell you about my friends at Vici Aesthetics and Wellness. They've helped me lose nearly 30 pounds. And you probably got someone that's on the shot, that's lost a significant amount of weight, noticeable weight. They can help you with that. 479-343-8424 is the number at Vici Aesthetics and Wellness. These are FDA-approved weight loss medications. Vici Aesthetics and Wellness is offering a detailed program right now to start 2024 that will keep you on track, reduce the cravings, reduce the appetite, and the weight will come off. So if you need help losing the weight, Vici Aesthetics and Wellness can help you. 479-343-8424. 343-8424 for Vici Aesthetics and Wellness.
All right, so we got Tom Murphy coming up in just a bit, but for now, we get into our Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog update. Some Pro Hogs in the playoffs.
This is the Lindsay & Associates Pro Hog update.
Intercepted! Drew Sanders is everywhere!
Whether you're listing, selling, or leasing, Lindsay & Associates can handle all your real estate needs. Go to lindsay.com to search all the current real estate inventory. At Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together.
Caught and getting into the end zone. Hunter Henry for the touchdown.
All right, Christian, know what happened in the playoffs this weekend? What happened with the Hogs that were participating?
Frank Ragnow and Dan Skipper for the Lions were able to get past the wild card round on Sunday by the slimmest of margins, 24-23 over the Rams. The win was the Lions' first in the playoffs in 32 years. The Lions will host Tampa Bay on Sunday in the divisional round. I don't think anybody beginning of the year would have anticipated Tampa Bay and Detroit in the divisional round.
No, I don't think that was a playoff game that, again, many people expected or, in some cases, many people hoped for. You got it. Ragnow, Skipper. Ragnow's been one of the best centers in the National Football League all year long. Dan Campbell has said some great things about him this season, and a huge part of that rushing attack with Jahmyr Gibbs kind of spearheading it.
Dre Greenlaw and the 49ers will host the red-hot Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love on Sunday. The 49ers had a bye in round one. A win would put them in the NFC Championship against either Tampa or Detroit. Former Hogs could face off against each other for a chance to play in the Super Bowl, which would be pretty cool. But, man, don't count out the Packers.
I guess Ragnow and Greenlaw were teammates, and I think Skipper and Greenlaw were teammates at one point as well. So, yeah, that sounds right. So they would, again, like you're saying, meet up. That'd be kind of a cool thing, Tommy. And you think they'd go – I mean, you got two offensive linemen that – not just blocking the DNs and the tackles, but a lot of times you got to get to that second level. So there'd be some collisions with some two former Razorbacks if it plays out like that.
Yeah, I hadn't really given that any thought, but yeah, you're right. And we'll see if those matchups do pan out. But good to see maybe a few different teams in there that we haven't seen. We'll see if they can survive the divisional round. But obviously you don't see the Lions very often in there. The Texans another one. So. Seeing some names that you don't normally, there's some franchises you don't normally see.
And I don't think that, I think that Brandon Allen's still on the 49ers roster. I don't think he's on the practice squad. I got to double check and look that up. You could have a handful of not just Arkansas guys, but Fayetteville guys in that point. Frank's from Minneapolis. I don't remember where Skipper's from, but yeah,
Colorado.
Is that right? Okay, that'd be a fun to see some former Hogs go at it and consistently go at it on the line of scrimmage potentially.
Yeah, like I said, Green Bay, though, you can't count them out. They're playing really good football right now. Jordan Love. It's going to be hard for the 49ers. I don't think the Packers will make it easy at all for them in that game. Now, in the NBA, Bobby Portis had a good performance. Had 22 points, shot 9 for 11 for the Bucks in their 143-142 overtime win over the Kings on Sunday. He also had 10 rebounds. Bobby Portis with a good performance.
Yep. Bobby is, outside of Giannis Antetokounmpo, the most liked player in Milwaukee. They consistently chant his name. I was watching that game. He just went off the other night. He is fun to watch. He has really improved. This was a guy that kind of could hit the 15-footer a little bit at 3 in college, but has really elevated his game at the next level, and he's a joy to watch. Loves the U of A, loves Little Rock, and he's done a good job in terms of his next phase of his life.
Yeah, they needed every bit of his scoring in that game, and that is it. I know Anthony Black, though, had a pretty good game the other day against the Knicks, had 13 points in that one. That's usually over his average, about 13 points. He doesn't get into double digits a lot, but he does impact the game in other ways.
Yeah, he has looked awesome. He is in the running for Rookie of the Year. He's probably not going to win it, but he's at least in that conversation. I'd like to go see him play at some point in time. Planning on going to see 3 former Hogs next month with Gafford and the Wizards and Joe and Jalen on the Thunder. And, plenty of, again, there's probably, I don't have the number. I mean, you got double-digit Pro Hogs in the NBA, Tommy. You might have more in the NBA that are consistently playing than you do in the National Football League.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple months ago, but which report would take longer, the NBA report or the NFL report?
Which I think.
And when we get to baseball, that's going to be probably similar. I don't know, we'll have to see what MLB rosters look like, but a good chance that'll be similar to what we see with the numbers with the NBA.
No, and baseball is it's going to be here before we know it, not just getting MLB, but the college side of things.
All right, that's your Pro Hog Update. It is brought to you by Lindsay & Associates, who are celebrating their 50th year in the real estate business. They're the leading real estate company in Northwest Arkansas. So whether you're listing, selling, or leasing, Lindsay & Associates can handle all of your real estate needs. They have over 200 professionally trained agents, 3 great locations, Fayetteville, Rogers. They're also in Bentonville. Lindsay & Associates, they are the winning choice. Go to lindsay.com to search all the current real estate inventory. At Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together.
So if this team does not make, I used the term failure earlier when it comes to Arkansas basketball. If this team does not make the NCAA tournament based on their preseason expectations, based on who they added in the offseason, do we consider this team and this year a failure in Arkansas basketball?
I mean, by definition, yes, because they haven't met the bare minimum goal. But I mean, I don't know why we got to rush to a definition on the 16th of January. I don't know. It doesn't seem likely they're going to make the tournament. Kind of laid it out earlier. They're 9-7 just to get to 20 wins in the regular season. They're going to win 11 of the next 15. When you think about it in those terms, that doesn't seem very, very likely at this point. And 20 wins assures you nothing anymore in college basketball.
Yep, you're right on that. Well, let's hear what Tom Murphy thinks as he joins us on the Morning Rush.
Let's talk to Tom Murphy on the Morning Rush.
And we do so via the McLarty Daniel hotline as Tom joins us every Tuesday around 8:10 or so. Tom, we appreciate you jumping on with us as always. Again, a lot of questions about this Arkansas basketball team, not a lot of answers. I feel like we've been in the same position before where we're questioning, hey, what's going on? Is there chemistry issues? Why haven't they figured it out? And the last 3 years, they've proven otherwise. If we're looking on the positive side of things, Tom, what leads you to believe that they could come out of this bad spot and make another run in an NCAA tournament appearance?
Oh, good morning, guys. I think only, I would say the track record for Eric Musselman would be one reason. And also, don't they have to start shooting it better at some point? I mean, they've had open shots, and so I would say those things. But on the flip side of that, it's the competition level. I mean, they have got to compete better. I used a quote from Chris Jans after the first weekend of the season in my SEC report the first week, and it was it seems like some of the teams that were down are competing better and are moving up the chain. And by that, I mean you talk about Ole Miss and South Carolina and Georgia, maybe even LSU, all competing a lot better this year, and Arkansas not. And so it's a long way to go. I had not seen it in the terms Tommy used, win 11 of 15 just to get to 20 wins. Oh, that's going to be tough.
I mean, they're 9 wins now, 15 left in SEC play. I mean, it's just math at this point, and that I don't see how they do it. And I think barring an SEC tournament run, I think you may have to find some different goals to play for this season.
Yeah, that may be the case. And you know, here's where I see a little bit of a difference in the last several years and then this team is that at least the personnel, you know, they had settled on personnel. It was just a matter of refining some things and getting incremental improvement. This year, I mean, Eric Musselman, you can see, is casting about for guys who are going to do the things they need. I mean, he used his own defense, and it's like, what guards are going to be the guys who get it done for you? Because on given days, sure, Joseph Pinion and Layden Blocker can have a fine game, when the outcome is decided. But who, when the game's on the line? I mean, is Caleb Battle going to start, improving on defense so he can stay on the court more? Who's going to come along with Tremont Mark and be a quality guy? I mean, he's shooting better than 50% from the field, Mark is. And they need more from Trevin Brazile. I mean, it's simple bottom line. All those things have to happen, and they have to be a tougher, more physical rebounding team.
Yeah. And, Tom, this was just a hard one to figure out because, I mean, when you looked at the teams that made the Sweet 16 and the level of veteran experience they had, upperclassmen experience they had on the roster, going heavy in the portal made all the sense in the world. But clearly going heavy in the portal has been, part of the equation of why this season hasn't panned out. I can't put my finger on it, but I keep coming back to the analogy. It's like having 3 jigsaw puzzles in one box, and we're just wondering how in the world we're ever going to get all these pieces to fit together.
Man, that is a good analogy. And, I mean, the formula has worked for Eric Musselman. It's just that this particular formula isn't falling into place. And I don't know. I think it starts with because I've talked time and again, when guards are blowing by you and breaking down your defense, it leads to all that trouble. And so he got tired of seeing that. Florida just and I think Jimmy Dykes actually said it on the broadcast. When SEC teams look at Arkansas right now, they go, okay, we're going to the hole.
Yep.
And that's what they're doing. And so they switched to the zone, and it worked for a little while, or it changed things up for Florida, and they weren't as effective for a short while. Arkansas got back in the game, so to speak, and then it didn't work. So I don't know what the solution is, and, this is why Eric Musselman is a guru. He's got to find ways to make it happen, and at least start getting on the winning side of things. And having back-to-back home games against A&M and South Carolina, might as well start right there.
Tom Murphy's with us here on the McCarty Daniel Hotline, Whole Hog Sports Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, your old stomping grounds, Alabama, named a new head coach in Tuscaloosa. There are reports out there that he wasn't the first choice. Do you think other coaches passed on that job?
I would like to think. I think that they probably went after some of the big names that you would expected, the Lannings and so on, and maybe even just inquired with Kirby. Any chance? Nope. Okay. Boom. That's quick. You know what I mean? And so Lane Kiffin, did they do that? I'm not sure. But if you're Alabama and those guys fit the profile of what you wanted, why not? I said on your air last Thursday I would have preferred Kalen DeBoer not be their choice, because I just think he's just out of his element a little bit. I think he's a fine coach. I like the guy, but it seems to me like a quieter, less publicized, less scrutiny type deal is just better for him. And just his appearances on TV during the playoffs, the short ones, I like those. So I hope he does well. I just don't know if the pressure cooker that is Alabama football is going to suit him. I could be wrong, obviously, but a good hire by Alabama, though, probably. I think he's a good coach.
I just wonder if the old adage of don't be the guy that follows the guy, be the guy that follows the guy that followed the guy. Be second behind. I just wonder if Lane Kiffin, if Dabo Sweeney, if Sarkisian, some of these others that came directly off of the Saban tree, perhaps, said, you know what, I don't want to be the one to follow the goat, and because they went way off the tree to get this one.
They really did, and they those guys very well may have said, like, yeah, coming in behind Paul Bryan or whomever, it's been tough, and so why would you do that? And I don't know. The setup is in good shape there. The recruiting is good, and I think Kalen DeBoer will probably be a fine recruiter. But I don't know. I don't know who they went after, the strongest, the Dan Lannings of the world, and what eventually led them to DeBoer. But it was done relatively fast, and you got to credit Alabama and Vern for getting that done.
Well, let's be honest. All these other guys that we enlisted, they're all rich already. They're all wealthy now. So I mean, it's not like you've got to go to Alabama to get the bigger payday. Yeah, you would, but it's not a life-changing difference. All these guys are making phenomenal wealth where they're at.
Exactly, and and Kirby, he's got his own kingdom going now, and he's a Georgia grad. So that one to me probably, and they might not have even inquired with him, but that one to me, I didn't think would happen. If this had gone down 3 or 4 years ago, I think Dabo would have been right at the top of the list. But I think his reluctance to embrace the NIL culture and all that probably cost him in the eyes of the folks at Alabama that made this decision.
Glad you brought that up. Hey, Arkansas has been reluctant to embrace NIL. Do you think that's hurt this athletics department with Hunter Yurachek and Sam Pittman's standpoint, Tom?
Well, I think they always understood it had to happen. Now, falling behind the curve a little bit with full court press, so to speak, watching the Grove Collective kind of get all the publicity in the last cycle probably was an eye-opener for them. And so they've tried. But here's the thing. No matter what your collective or your NIL plan looks like, it's your overall, here's Arkansas historically. Here's their football record. Here's their conference record in the SEC. Here's where their revenues stand. Here's the size, the capacity of their stadium. It's hard to break out of that and consistently be a 9 or 10 win team. Now, Ole Miss, smaller stadium, they've got a difference maker at coach. Let's see how long the Lane Kiffin deal goes. Right now, this is a short term, and perhaps he can turn it into a longer term deal. But to me, those are comparative programs, and even though Ole Miss has Mississippi State in the state with them, it's just I think Arkansas has done okay in NIL. Obviously not Boffo, but now is the time. It's a big litmus test year for Sam Pittman and what NIL will lead to for the Razorbacks.
Tom, there's several job openings in the National Football League, including your Atlanta Falcons, and I wonder if there's an appetite to fill it with a new head coach or a guy that's been in the National Football League, Bill Belichick. Again, a lot of job openings. What have you made about some of the jobs that are open now and maybe ones that might come open in Philly and Dallas?
Exactly. For the Falcons, I'd rather not have Bill Belichick. I just think that after Brady left, you could see he's making a lot of the personnel decisions. It's just not happening. I mean, maybe if he brings Hunter Henry down with him or something at some point. But no, I just feel like what has he got left to prove? Is can he really build a team now? And I don't know the answer to that, and I don't know if I want to find out. So I'd rather have a younger guy than him. Hey, man, we beat 3 of the teams that won playoff games: the Buccaneers and the Texans and the Packers. Beat them all. Yeah. But then we lost to a bunch of teams that are lower than us in the draft order. So I don't know what we're going to wind up with. We got a lot of holes to fill, and I feel bad for Cowboys fans because it did seem like the right year for them, and it was baffling how that playoff game unfolded. Like they hadn't played that style of defense all year long, and the Packers just lit them up. Yeah. And I don't know what they'll eventually do. But in the NFL, if you don't get it done within 2 or 3, 4 years now, they move on to somebody new.
Tom, real quick before we go, what do you expect to happen tonight at Bud Walton, and how much of a crowd do you think will show up considering record and considering the weather?
That's a great question. I am baffled as to. I mean, there'll be a representative crowd there, right, for sure. I drove yesterday, and I think I could drive today. I haven't really checked. I hope the Aggies got here safe, and if they do, shouldn't there be at least 10, 11, 12,000 folks there? I do not know what to expect. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's about right. Tom, we got to cut it off there. Let's catch up on Thursday, and we'll talk about what happens tonight.
Sound good. See you.
All right, Tom Murphy with us on the McLarty Daniel hotline. I think there will be, it's all going to probably be a Benton, Washington County crowd, but I do think some people will go with cabin fever. We'll get out tonight and probably cheer on the Razorbacks. 8 o'clock start makes it tough, though.
Yep, the cabin fever aspect. People sitting indoors in their house. I bet they're trying to get out tonight. We'll see. We'll talk more about this game coming up in just a bit.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I was listening to the Morning Rush, and I thought I heard the voice of angels.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McLarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McLarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McLarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
If you hope heaven has a bar, it's guaranteed that you'll be bounced and barred. Heaven is reserved for those who have put their hope in God's Word. Jesus said you must be born again by trusting in Him, or you won't see the kingdom of heaven. God set the bar so high, that's why Jesus had to die. If you refuse God's last call, the Holy Spirit will serve you a fireball. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
Minifield with a little hesitation move, drew the foul, going to the line with a chance to pull the Hogs within one.
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
All right, we're going to talk more about this basketball team tonight. Eric Musselman had plenty of things to say following the loss against Florida, and just a little bit on courtside with Eric Musselman with Chuck Barrett. We'll share some more thoughts. Again, 8 o'clock start time on the SEC Network and right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Zach and Matt Jones will have Hog reaction following the game. But for now, we have our friend Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources who joins us here on a Bandwagon Tuesday. And I know, Larry, you always want people to jump on the Rath Auto Resources bandwagon.
That's exactly right. You know, the bandwagon all leads to Rath Auto Resources, where all the happiest customers are rolling with Rath. And, you know, right now we're just kind of pouring the coals to it with new products, new ideas. One of the things that we're so excited about is road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles. And we've got them at both dealerships, the only place you're going to find them. And these cars are hand-picked. They're run through our Meineke Car Care Center for complete inspection. You know, we fix anything we find wrong with them. We do the maintenance on them. And now we back those cars with a 3-month, 3,000-mile full coverage warranty. So you really can't beat it. You cannot buy a better used car than a road-ready certified car. Only available at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Got some exciting things going on the new Mitsubishis as well. 24 Outlanders, 0% for 60 months. Now that gets that payment down where so many people can afford it. And this car's a bargain anyway. I don't know if you guys have shopped it, but you're going to see that several $1,000s cheaper than everything else that it competes with. Plus, it's got that 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. You can't beat it. Now with the 0% for 60 months, probably the smartest buy out there. And a great-looking car with a great warranty. So come on in today and see one of those. Check it out online if you haven't checked it out already. Or if you're looking for a pre-owned car, road-ready certified, only available, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. You check us out online at rathauto.com.
All right, that's Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith and in Springdale. Larry, stay warm. It's -1 in Fayetteville right now.
I'm going to do the best I can.
If we say
it looks great. The sun is shining. It doesn't look that cold.
If we say it real quick, it doesn't sound so cold. -1 in Fayetteville. Stop in and see Larry.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Folks got to see it.
All right, now -1 right now in Fayetteville, but headed for a high of 19 later on today by mid-afternoon. Right. 5 degrees. The hot spot right now. 5 degrees in Fort Smith. It's actually 10 in Little Rock. So it's just nuts. But it's going to be like 40 tomorrow. 40 in Fort Smith tomorrow, and then Fayetteville tomorrow going to be 37 degrees.
Next week,
43 by Thursday.
Yeah, next week it's picking up to 50s, which will be nice.
Yeah,
so
52 on Tuesday, 52 on Wednesday in Fayetteville. So maybe a little outdoor. You know, I don't know. It's supposed to rain those days too, though. That's what stinks.
Yeah, it's not as
It's
going
to get warm. We at least need a day or two in there where it it's sunny and no precipitation, and we can get outside and Go fish, golf, do something. Give us a little break.
Get all outdoor activities. Well, indoor tonight, Bud Walton Arena, 8 o'clock, SEC Network. Your Arkansas Razorbacks trying to get their first conference win of the season. And one of the things they might utilize tonight is the zone defense we saw for the first time in Musk's career.
Yeah, I haven't played zone at all since I've been in college. We're not guarding anybody one-on-one, so the thought process was to put a zone in yesterday and try to help us with dribble drives. It helped for a little bit as a change of pace. It maybe slowed Florida down for half a little bit. But just as in any zone and man, you got to be able to guard either the guy in your area or the guy you're assigned to, whether it's man or zone. And our inability to play defense, to take away the three, really doesn't matter. I mean, we gave up 9 threes the other night. Playing Georgia when we were man-to-man, we went zone tonight, gave up 9 threes. We need to play with, like our past teams have. And this group just does not grasp concepts, whether it's man or, you put in a zone.
They are outside the top 300 in college basketball. There's I think 363 teams enforcing turnovers. So not only do they get out rebounded, not only do they give out a lot of points, they don't turn you over, which has not been a staple of the Eric Musselman basketball team. They usually turn you over. So again, there's offensive issues. We know that. And I kind of agree with Tom. At some point, they just got to start making some shots. Or maybe Bruce said it earlier. But defensively, man, if they don't change their tune on that side of the basketball, then this idea that, again, they're going to even reach 20 wins. We've kind of kicked around this morning. You said 11 in the next 15. They'd be lucky to win 5 conference games. They keep playing defense like this.
Jimmy Dykes said something on the broadcast today. There's going to be a good basketball team. He didn't say great, but a good basketball team that only wins 5 or 6 games in this league. And I don't know who that's going to be. And it's that middle of the pack we talked about, that the top 3 and the bottom 3 after 3 games seem to be identifying themselves. You got Auburn, Tennessee, and Kentucky at the top, and Arkansas is unfortunately in that group at the bottom with Missouri and Vandy. But one of those teams likely in the other 8 schools are going to end up 5-13, and they're not a bad basketball team at all.
You mentioned Jimmy Dykes is the first conference game where he is not on call. If Arkansas wins tonight, and you mentioned they're 2.5-point underdogs, somehow, some way, Jimmy is going to get blamed, even though he has nothing to do with it whatsoever. He is going to get blamed because, we call the first 3 games. The first one he doesn't call, they win. He's going to somehow get blamed on Thursday or on Wednesday morning.
Okay, then. If that's if that's the rational thought, then okay, then. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, back at it today. And, boy, you need some comfort food. You've eaten everything else in the house. Why not go and eat something great? How about the smoked pulled pork macaroni bowl? They pile up pulled pork and then their famous macaroni and cheese, barbecue sauce, and shredded cheddar. Bring it all out. I mean, if you look at the picture on their Facebook page, it'll make you hungry just looking at it. Try the smoked pulled pork macaroni bowl. You can do that today at Art's Barbecue, Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's, or call ahead for carryout service 452-2550. Art's Barbecue and Burgers on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
All right, we'll talk about your SEC update, Alabama job news next.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Coach Muck, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Morning Rush.
Somebody get him a plane ticket for New York City.
Subiaco in Scranton. If you made a resolution to get reliable internet for the new year, Wave Rural Connect can make that happen. The latest zone covering Subiaco in Scranton is now open. Make this New Year's resolution come true with internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or phone 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witz Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witz Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Gelco Outdoors is ready to help keep you warm during the cold winter days. Keep warm in insulated bib overalls, jackets, coats, vests, socks, gloves, boots, and underwear. Warm up with great savings on the 50% off clearance racks of men's, women's, and children's casual wear. Gelco has a great selection of Little Buddy space heaters. Gelco Outdoors, your local store for cold winter gear. Be safe and stay warm from Gelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Now offering same-day crowns. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
So apparently Ross Bjork has been a target for the Ohio State athletics director job. Gene Smith is stepping down after this academic year, and they are, again, honing in on the former Ole Miss athletic director. I think he was at Western Kentucky, too. Now has been at A&M the last couple of years. He's known for his fundraising efforts, according to The Athletic, but they are, again, trying to, I guess, persuade him to go up north. Now, again, a good chunk of his time has been in the South. I think it's Kentucky, Mississippi, and now Texas. But the Ohio State job is very appealing because of their said football program. Smith, I think, has been there for like 20 years, and now A&M might be in a situation where they have to hire a new AD if he ventures up north.
So something to keep an eye on. And, in the world of NIL, portal, all these things, raising money, that job's becoming more important just because of all the money that has to be raised.
And I don't know if
that it wasn't important to begin with.
Yeah, I don't know if Ohio State and A&M, the difference in terms of their stockpiled cash, how much the NIL funds look. I would think A&M could compete with Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Ohio State's the better job. I don't think anyone would question that in terms of the football. I don't know from an athletics director standpoint. I don't have the amount of funding both ways in front of me because it's, again, they keep that stuff private. But I think on the surface, the Ohio State athletics director job is better than Texas A&M, but you're also going to a place that I don't know if Bjork has consistently been in his life.
Well, I don't know why you'd leave A&M. When you have a halftime ceremony to note a $162 million gift to your university, other than the fact that there's probably not a lot of belief you're going to win a national championship in football anytime soon, or maybe even any of the sports, that might be the pressure that's on you as an AD to maybe look elsewhere. But funding, the job's never going to be a problem because you don't have enough money at A&M.
Maybe his sense is after the Jimbo Fisher debacle that he is on his way out if this new hire doesn't work out, and I don't think it's going to. I think A&M almost downgraded at the head coaching position. Maybe Elko turns that thing into a behemoth. I just don't expect it to. Again, the Alabama situation with no Nick Saban is going to change the way we view certain SEC jobs, and we'll see if not just Georgia but some other SEC programs can capitalize at this point in time. So that's the football news for you. And we got another tidbit. So Mike Rodak, who we've had on these airwaves before, covers the Alabama Crimson Tide. He had this to say in regards to the job opening that was filled by Kalen DeBoer at Alabama. He feels like wasn't the first guy they looked at.
The question that he got was Kalen DeBoer your first choice? Which, I don't think any AD is going to answer one way or the other in that one, especially if it's a guy that wasn't the first choice. And Byrne kind of dodged the question in terms of not even really trying to make the claim that he was. And I think we realized just kind of through those 49 hours that there were certainly other names out there. I think the realest one was probably Mike Norvell, from everything I've heard. And obviously, the contract, I think, on his end was very correlated with the Alabama coaching search. I don't know if the Dan Lanning and Steve Sarkisian ones were quite as much a direct result of that.
So that was interesting. He was on SiriusXM talking about it. I said yesterday I didn't think Kalen DeBoer was the first selection for Greg Byrne in Alabama. Now, like most athletics directors, they get up on the podium and say he was always our choice or he was our first choice or whatever. It sounds like Rodak said that he didn't necessarily do that. If Norvell passed on this job, what does that say about Alabama, where he's at Florida State, where he can get good talent, and the ACC is easier to win, as we saw, than the SEC, but they're still far behind in revenue and far behind in television distribution? What does that say that they weren't able to get Norvell? Is that all just come back to the old adage of you don't want to be the guy that follows the guy, like you referenced earlier? Is that all it comes down to?
I think that always becomes a spot you want to find yourself in. You don't want to ever take a job and set yourself up for failure. And I think that's, Saban's going to cast a long shadow for a long while, just like Bear Bryant did at Alabama. It may be a couple decades or longer before you find the next great one. Alabama will rise again. And they haven't fallen yet. Everybody's already got them in the ash heap. They're a long ways from that. And I think the most surprising outcome to a lot of people is, under the new coach here, that DeBoer and people they don't, a name they're not really familiar with, that he'll have success. That seems like the longest shot on the board is him to go out and win a national title in the next 2 or 3 years. Which I think we got to believe is very possible. But that guy's won everywhere he's been.
I just don't think he has any familiarity of not just this league, but what he's walking into. And I think that is a difficult and a scary situation that he is embarking upon. I'll give him credit. He's at least trying it out. I just don't think it's going to work. And you mentioned he was like 104-12 or something insane. Won at Sioux Falls, was a good offense coordinator in Indiana, won at Fresno State, won at Washington. I mean, like 3 years into their program or 2 years in, whatever it was, he's taking them to the national championship. But again, sometimes it's a different league, different expectations, and I don't think he's going to meet him. All right, last thing here in your SEC update. Games tonight. We know Arkansas and A&M playing at 8 o'clock in the SEC Network. The Florida-Tennessee game, as we were talking with Bruce Stan earlier, has been moved up because of snow in Knoxville. It's at 4 o'clock on ESPN2. So you got some early college basketball to look forward to. Missouri and Alabama on the SEC Network leading up to the Arkansas A&M game, and then Georgia and South Carolina on ESPNU. So, Tommy, for basically 4 to 10 o'clock, you got 6 straight hours of college basketball that I will be watching each one of those games.
Yeah, and we're getting into that mode now where, college basketball, it's become front and center. Now, the playoffs, the NFL playoffs still have us there, but, man, it's tough to sink your teeth into every game every night when Arkansas right now is really not a factor in this league.
No, I'd say that's a good approach. It's when you're good in baseball or football or basketball, you pay attention to the other schools because you feel like, hey, what's their weakness? You always do that. I think Chuck said it before. You kind of self-scout to a certain degree. It's like, we can take advantage of them here, but you don't feel like that you can take advantage of many teams.
There's going to be a moment, and it could be tonight, where Arkansas has a flash and it comes together, and it would most likely be at home where they pull out a win and things look great. It's this idea that they're not going to go 0-18 in this league. That's not going to happen. Or they're not going to go 2-16 in this league. Now, I don't think they're going to go 9-9 either. So don't mishear what I'm saying. But this idea that they're going to lose each and every game or never be competitive, but how much they got to have one of those moments where they rise up soon to just keep some hope alive. Not just for the fans, but for themselves as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because at some point, what are you playing for? And we're reaching that point that what's left to play for.
No, you're right.
I mean, you got to win 11 of the next 15 to get to 20 regular season wins. 11 of the next 15.
Which Muss has never been under 20 wins in college basketball. So we'll see if this is his first year. And that's going to close out your SEC update this morning.
And it's brought to you by the Hickey and Hull Law Partners. They have grown their firm over the last few years. They are now in Mena. They're also in Central Arkansas as well, in Little Rock, and can take care of all your legal needs wherever you're at. Been in Northwest Arkansas, been in Fort Smith for a long time, adding more attorneys to the team. So now is the time to let the Hickey and Hull Law Partners be your partner when it comes to any legal need you have. They specialize in family law, but they handle any kind of criminal matter, civil matter, and, of course, family law. So if you've went through a holiday period where the visitation that's ordered by the court wasn't lived up to by your ex-spouse, or maybe you're wanting to revisit your child support or the amount of visitation you're getting, it's time to call the Hickey and Hull Law Partners. 479-434-2414. Brad Hull and Kevin Hickey will put their over 7 decades of combined experience with them and their team to work for you. 479-434-2414 to schedule your appointment, or go to kevinhickeylaw.com. Things are about to get better with the Hickey and Hull Law Firm.
Might need to hire Kevin and Brad to prohibit the NFL moving to a pay-per-view format, which they might do at some point. Over 23 million people watched the game on Peacock between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins. And I thought about this, like, at some point, do you think ESPN puts a game solely on streaming, where they make you buy ESPN Plus, and if you have it, you can watch it that way, but for those that don't, they would have to pay for that extra portion. I calculated, Tommy, you made over $137 million based on if you were just going to add up the $23 million times $5.99, and there's people that, again, that had it already. There's people that won't cancel. There's other attributes, but, I mean, we're not done with this, unfortunately. I hate that because that's just another thing you're going to have to pay for when it comes to the National Football League.
Well, I think this is the way it's going to be for not just sports, but really anything that's not breaking news that you might really want to watch that has this kind of impact as far as audience numbers, 20, 30, 40 million people watching at once. When they know that the demand to watch something is there, let's say, for instance, a Taylor Swift concert that they're going to put on Peacock or Paramount or something like that. Well, they're going to charge $19.99 or whatever to get you to come over to the app to do that or get you to subscribe. Something that would have appeal beyond sports. I don't think this is going to be a model that's solely for sports because they know if they've got you, they got you. And if it's your team or it's the NFL playoffs, and I believe with sports, now that gambling is more prevalent than it's ever been before, and it's only going to get larger, if it's a game you want to wager on and it's $6 or it's one more subscription, you're probably going to sign up. And they know that, and they're going to take advantage of that.
They got you sucked in to a certain degree.
Because you're never going – because you like to wager on games, and you're never going to wager on a game you can't watch. A game you're not going to choose not to watch a game when you have money on it. When you have money on it. And they know that.
I thought that was a good point you made last week. All right, let's talk to Melvin real quick as we close out the program. He's on the McLarty Daniel hotline. Melvin, welcome in, buddy.
Hey, bud, quick question. How come nobody's questioning where is Devo?
What
that
do you
man
mean?
ought to be dragging the team on his back. He's been there longer than anybody. I'm just saying I'm disappointed. Now go ahead and tell Devo's like KJ. He ain't living up to what I expected. And I'm not trying to be critical, but how come he's not getting the bull by the horns and making it go the way it needs to go?
Well, I think he's frustrated like Eric Musselman is, and we've seen it showcase itself. We saw in the Auburn game, he's had another player or two. You're just like, what are you doing? That's, again, something he's done over the years. It's not just a one-year thing. Devo has never been a consistent 20 points a game scorer. We saw him really elevate his offense three-point shooting-wise last year in SEC play. We saw him put the team on his back in Des Moines, Iowa against the Kansas Jayhawks, but it's not everything that's going to happen over the course of a season. Melvin, I hope he picks up. He had 0 points this last game. I hope he goes for double digits tonight. It's finding his spots, knocking down the open threes, and playing the defense that he played really solid at points his freshman, sophomore, and junior year that we haven't necessarily seen as consistent this year. That's at least my thought on that. We'll see.
Well, but the idea that no one has questioned Devo that's not the conversations that have been brought up on this show. He's probably been as questioned as anybody.
Yeah, and I think that he's a guy that would love to rally this team. We'll see if they're able to do so. He knows what it takes to get to the NCAA tournament. We'll see if he can help elevate his team the next few games in conference play. 8 o'clock tonight, again, Hog Reaction with Matt Jones and Zach Arns following. Stay with us all day on ESPN Arkansas.
Join ESPN Arkansas in the Morning Rush in supporting Arkansas Children's Northwest all month long. We will be